Hello. How is everybody doing on this fine day? Hello and welcome to some PowerWash Simulator. Alrighty then, let's check out this game, shall we? Let's check this out. Little context for this here. I have been gifted this game by our dear Bellatrix here, so thank you for Bellatrix. If you wanted to see these games, then you have to thank Bellatrix for it. This is one of the few simulator games I've actually been curious about, because this specific simulator game just kind of tickles the fancy, and it is not too much of a simulator. Well, I guess it is kind of a simulator, but yeah, it's mostly a chill and relaxing thing, I believe. So let's take a look at this. Steam store page. Arrange how to clean special locations and vehicles. Wait, is that DLC or is that something else? You know what, you will now be taken to the Steam store, yes please, because I would like to know what they're talking about here. Ah, Midgar special. Okay, so they basically sell a couple. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so I guess they have all. Ah, I see how it is. Okay, so they did add a couple of special locations that we already have in library right now. They all seem to be free. I was like, okay, so are they selling them as DLC? But nope, those just seem to be free updates you need to add to your game. And I can even co-op. That's funny. Okay, you know what? Let's just... do we want to start with one of the special locations or do we want to start with career mode? I think we should probably start with career mode because that's probably where the game is going to explain how it works right now. I do also know that there's a couple of bonus things on the horizon for this game. Like they are going to do, I think, a Warhammer or Warhammer 40k setting or so. And they're even adding SpongeBob locations. It is kind of crazy. Okay, so let's just try this. Great news! Finally found a van for you at the auction under your budget. Don't freak out when you see it. Looks just like been dragged from the bottom of a lake, but that's the good thing. It means no one else bid on it. They missed out. Underneath that hideous layer of skunk, your perfect workhorse. Engines a dream. No rust. There's even equipment in the back. How does this thing not have any rust, I do wonder. Just need a good hosing down during business. Alright, so let's do that then. Select the nozzle is 1, 2, 3. Raise and lower the tablet. Okay, so I guess that's just the options menu. Waster for movement, sure thing. Equip, rotate nozzle and refill cleaning liquid. Okay, I don't know what about what rotate. Okay, I mean I can see what rotate nozzle means, but the equip key confuses me right now. Pick up and place equipment. Okay. Show dirt, walks, breathe. Okay, so most of those are just your regular thing. Use washer, toggle washer, switch nozzle and rotate equipment. Okay, let's just try this. So, PowerWash Simulator. Okay, this is a little loud right now. I've immediately seen that this game is too loud as of right now. So let's turn down the master volume a decent chunk further. Let's try it again. Okay, I think that's better now. Okay, so let's just see. Okay, so we are just going to switch the way that this works, and I guess rotate nozzle. Ah, yeah, that's how it works. Gotcha. Okay, so basically what this is going to be is just a game where you clean stuff, as you can see. That's all there is to it. And the nice... Ah, okay, we do not... Oh! Okay, we can get all the way down. Interesting. And I can definitely see why this game is relaxing to a lot of people, because look, there is something very relaxing in my opinion about just cleaning something and see how it becomes more, well, okay, less dirty. There we go, that's what I wanted to see. Is there still more dirt here? Okay, so it doesn't just immediately wash it all away. Gotcha. Guess we are just going to do a big hosing down of the entire vehicle for the time being. Maybe one of the other nozzles is going to be more efficient there. And especially when it comes to stuff like this, like the power washing here, I can see how this is relaxing to a lot of people already, because we're talking about a major level of dirt. Like, if you're just cleaning something that almost looks clean already, it doesn't really feel as satisfying. But this here I can see it being insanely satisfying for a lot of people. Like, I personally already think this is quite nice to do. So, do I even need to do that? I guess this one's probably going to be the most powerful in regards to cleanliness. Oh, we can actually just... Oh, that's kind of neat. I was wondering what the second one means, but no, I can just basically press this button and the hose just keeps going. Oh, and it even tells me how cleanly it is in total up there. I think my current placement is quite fine. There was something about us refilling, so I don't quite know if we have to refill water at any given point. If we switch the nozzle while this is on, does it stop? Nope, we can just keep going, gotcha. Why are we doing the lengthy one? Oh, wait, well, okay, let's stop this for a moment. Can we jump? Yes, we can. Ah, yeah, just as I expected, we will have to actually clean the bottom part of this car as well. Okay, body, I guess the body is just the entire thing. Fair enough, fair enough. And unlike something like just driving a car around, washing things with a power washer is not something you can do every day. Also, even if you could, I guess washing something with a power washer is probably going to be more obnoxious just because there's a lot of cold water everywhere around. So you do get the best part of using a power washer without the bad part of using a power washer. That's nice, isn't it? That is very nice. So maybe I should use a different nozzle to get those few remaining stains off. Do I leave stains on it? I don't think. Hey, Shiny! Nice to see you. How are you doing? But yeah, this is basically a just chatting game, if we're completely honest here. Because I have nothing that really distracts me from talking at any given moment. So if I want to ramble on or just talk with you guys, this is gonna be the perfect game. Hey, I'm good. How are you? Oh, I am just doing fine. So I'm feeling a little tired right now. I mean, partially you know it. I've decided to ultimately go for this game today because Bellatrix gifted it to me and I was like, you know what, might as well give it a shot today. Because once again, this is actually a simulator game that I was curious about, because it does feel kind of nice to just see something getting clean. Especially if it was insanely dirty beforehand. Okay, let's stop this for a moment. I would say that the top cover looks pretty... you know what, now that I look at it, there's still parts of it that we should probably do, like sidelines here. Just have to use a very powerful stream and rinse the last little bits of dirt off here. This seems like a very unsafe way of doing it, if I'm completely honest with you. Just because we are standing on top of a wet vehicle right now. Wet metal nonetheless, which is never safe, to be honest. But all the day's work for a power washer. All the day's work for the power washer. Okay, so since there's not too much to comment about what's going on screen right now, we basically can talk about anything. This is once again a very heavy just chatting screen. Can we get this dirt off here? Yes, we can. That's nice. I'm going to take a look at another apartment this evening, so that's going to happen. Ooh, I think that one is completely clean now. That's nice, that's nice. Can we actually see the inside of the car? No, I don't think it's going that far in the details. It looks like I will actually have to use the smaller nozzles if I want to actually get to the thing being totally cleansed. Because otherwise we're not going to get all the gunk off there. I'll be lurking, sorry, while I play some Fortnite. Nothing to be sorry about, my friend. Have fun with Fortnite. You're going through all of your old games again right now, aren't you? You're playing Pokemon Unite, you're playing Fortnite, all your old competitive multiplayers that you fought dead and buried in the past. Hey, and that's another single screen. Nice. Another level of cleanliness. Yeah, okay, the big hose definitely did not get everything there. Okay, so you're basically going over this within levels, I see. Should I switch to the smallest hose yet? Ah, no, I think we can still clean it on a big level. Okay, so once again, what are we doing today? I mean, on stream we are very clearly power washing this, and in the evening I am going to check out yet another apartment. Ooh, I think that's the right stream, that's nice. I'm not the biggest fan of the location of the one we are checking out today, but on the other hand it is quite cheap, so that's the plus point there. Hey, and yet another thing. Nice. Okay, the bumpers are the thing we're renting off right now. Is the plate part of the bumpers or does it count as something other? Don't think it does. Come on, where's the last bit of gunk here? There we go. Look at this shiny car. 78% clean in total. This looks so different from the start already. Lovely, isn't it? You know what? We want to go for the ultra powerful super laser. Nah, this is fine. So, come on, ring those. Oh, you're gonna go with the business name or do you need to make something up? Okay, I guess we do get to rename our business there. Is the tire now clean? I think the tire is clean now. Not entirely sure if it is all that important to clean a tire, if I'm completely honest. Because, let's be completely honest, the tire is the thing that will get dirty the fastest since it is touching the ground constantly. But I guess since we're on the job right now, anyway, might as well cleanse everything here. Okay, bumper should be clean enough. Okay, there's some rest of dirt stuck there somewhere. Where is it? Is it this? Is it this here? Yeah, it was that there. There we go. Almost doesn't look anymore like it fell in a lake anymore now, does it? Are these? Oh yeah, the headlights still need some work. There we go. It is kind of funny how they are specifying certain portions of the vehicle. Vehicle, I don't know. It's still part of the body. There we go. Okay, I mentioned how this would be a ramble stream, but I am actually kind of low-key focused on the game right now. I guess since the game just started out, I still have to think a little more out loud while doing these things. I guess that's fair though. And we are also, my girlfriend and I are also talking to a real estate agent right now in regards to an apartment that we would actually prefer. So that's something good that might happen at some point. Oh, these are the kinds of items I can pick up. Wait. Can I? It's telling me I can pick it up. Maybe because I'm not standing up right now. There we go. Maybe I need to be fully standing if I want. Ah, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I don't need this anymore right now, I think, so I'm just going to put that one down over here. And then we're going to continue on with our washing mission, shall we? There we go. If we are actually going to get that apartment that I've mentioned before, that would be amazing, because we are talking about a place that a decent amount smaller than our current one, granted, but it only costs half the price and it has a pretty decent room layout, because after looking at several apartment complexes over the last couple of days and weeks, I have noticed something, that bigger doesn't always mean better in regards to the room layout, because a lot of the bigger apartments seem to just be wasting space in a sense, which is kind of weird, with stuff like an endlessly long but thin corridor leading up to the toilet, for example, to just name one of the many things that are basically useless. Or a storage room that is so slim that you basically can't put much stuff into it anyway, because you would just run out of space over there. Because sure, the storage room is quite long, but you will only be able to access the few things at the very front of it. In everything else, you'll have to pull out everything that stands in front of it for being able to access it. So it's kind of useless in that regard then, isn't it? Ah well, ah well. But yeah, those are the things. I think the current apartment that I'm going to take a look at today, I can't remember all of the details anymore right now. And some of you might say, what the fuck, you are talking about an apartment that you might want to live in at some point eventually. Why do you not remember all of the details? Very simple, because if at a certain point when you've been looking at enough apartments, they will all just start to blend together. So, okay, there's still a little bit of dirt over here. I don't see much anymore, but there's definitely some dirt left. We still have to go through 11% more here. I guess the rest of the dirt will just be in small... Oh, wait, no. I was talking about small nooks and crannies and stuff like that, but no. It's literally just this side of the car. The entire other half of the car is still quite dirty. Okay, forget what I was saying. I was looking for a needle in a haystack of dirt. Probably not the smartest thing to do either. Okay, so I think there we go. Okay, almost done. Almost done. Okay, still almost done. Is the window clean? Okay, now the window is clean. Wing mirrors ×2. Oh right, I never forgot to clean. I totally forgot to clean that wing mirror. Okay. Okay, it's nice that it actually does tell you which parts of the car you still need to scrap. Wait, I'm confused though. It did tell me wing mirror. Is this one still slightly dirty? Maybe it's the back side of them. Okay, so now the wing mirror is also clean. And I guess, is the hubcap this front part of the car? Or is it somewhere in the back? I don't quite know what a hubcap is, but it is the last thing I need to take care of. I mean, this looks clean if you ask me. At least I can't see another sprinkle of dirt here anymore. What's a hubcap? I might actually have to Google what the hell a hubcap is. Okay, let's get down there. I would be surprised if there was falling damage in a game called PowerWash Simulator. Maybe we can see it from down here, low end of it. Yes, yes, yes. This all looks clean to me. This looks like a perfectly clean vehicle right now. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to Google what a hubcap is real quick. Car hubcap. Oh, it's part of the wheels. Okay, you know what? I would have been able to have a look around there for a while now and I would not have figured that one out. Okay, so it's one of the wheels that we've forgotten to clean. Okay. These ones actually all look pretty fine. Wait. Do they look different? Yeah, they do look different. Should the wheels look different? Okay, apparently they do. Apparently the front wheels and the back wheels just look ever so slightly different. Okay, I'm just going to rinse all of the wheels a little bit and hope that it's going to get whatever dirt left on them. It would have to be the inner part of the wheel if I understand this correctly. But these look perfectly fine to me if you ask me. Surprisingly enough. Maybe it's the outside of it. Ooh, maybe it's a case of being dirty on the inside and we need to rinse it from the other side. Let's see. I've got friends on the other side. Ah, there we go. I didn't see the last ounce of dirt, but we've gotten it anyway. There we go. Is this the extraordinary Dr. PowerWash? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's... Oh, and you get a little bit of a time lapse after you've done it. Okay, that's kind of cute. Oh, that's pretty sweet. That's a nice little detail there. Alright, so we've gotten that one done. New, clean the back garden, Walnut Street. I mean, sure, why the hell not? Start the job. I don't think we need to read the backstory there. I don't think that is all that important after all. I know it's easier said than done, but with the next apartment I will try to keep it cleanlier from the get-go. Because usually it's not that difficult to keep something clean in the first place, if you ask me. The problem is once you start slipping with small little details here and there. Oh my god, okay, there's actually a door underneath all that mold. Almost... Oh. Okay, I see now how this is going to be a far bigger job, and the first one was just a tutorial mission. Okay, gotcha. Is it really all that necessary to clean the rocks on the road though? Like, it's rocks on the ground. How clean are they really going to get? Like, if there were chemical impurities or so upon them, I would understand, but the mold and moss is just going to regrow very fast. Okay, was that... Okay, all these stepping stones are almost clean. Just look at that, okay? You know what? Let's just finish the stepping stones. Otherwise, one of them is going to stick around until the very end. I can already see that, okay? Where's your last bit of stuff? Wait, that's not the one I was aiming for, but sure, I'll take it. Okay, just rinse them for a while, and there we go. First steps achievement, let's go. Honestly, they look more unnatural. Wait. Oh, is this... Oh no, the side of this thing is also dirty. I see how it is. Okay, let's use the ever so slightly bigger nozzle, because I'm pretty sure we can just sweep over this in one go. Yes. The fencing here. The fencing is the only thing that needs our attention right now. No, there's still dirt left. Maybe I need to go one slot bigger. There we go. Halving edge. Oh my god, there's so much dirt here. But this does definitely feel satisfying. I don't know if it translates to the screen, but there is a certain amount of pleasure to be derived from these things just getting clean in concentrated lines. Okay, why is the metal so much cleanlier than the door? Okay, do I want to continue with the groundwork here, or do I want to finish my corner? I guess I should probably just finish this corner for the time being, shouldn't I? Yeah. If we are going to move anytime soon, which is hopeful, I'm pretty sure that most of you will understand that there is going to be a period where I can't stream as much anymore, because moving is always a very time-intensive process. It's an annoying process nonetheless, but packing boxes, moving boxes, unpacking boxes, it's just a straight hassle, isn't it? I think that's just wood, and it's wood well, it's not really impurities when it comes to wood now, is it? There we go. Sweep. I just hope that this move will be far easier than the next one, because the good thing is, once again, it is not guaranteed yet that we are going to get that apartment, but I think we've got a decent shot at getting the apartment, and if we get that apartment that I'm currently referring to, that would actually be pretty close to our current apartment. Not close enough to just carry stuff over by hand, but close enough that you could say, okay, it just needs a couple of minutes by car to move shit over. And both of the apartments this time around would also have elevators. I don't want to jinx it, so knock on wood, or you know what? Knock on wood. But that would be our dream apartment right now. Well, our dream apartment that we can actually afford. if I'm ever going to get something akin to a dream apartment or a dream house, to be more specific, I would hope for it to have a pool as well. That would be kind of the perfect thing, because I love personal pools. I don't really like to go swimming in public pools because it does kind of disgust me to consider other people swimming in the same water, honestly sweating and pissing and spitting in the same water. That's why I don't like public pools. But something like a private pool is wonderful because I love swimming. My girlfriend loves swimming as well, but she doesn't get that deterred as I am from stuff like public pools. The thing is, I didn't used to be like that, but after studying biology and learning about microorganisms and stuff like that, what kind of bacteria there is and so on and so forth, you would have to have a tougher skin than I to not worry about what could penetrate your skin there anymore. Okay, I think that fence is totally clean now. This post here still needs some work. Here we go. Wait, is it? Yeah. I thought that there was a little bit of mold left over there. Wait, why can I not jump? There we go. But no, it's just a couple of the... I don't know, what do you call these spots in English? I don't even know if there's a name for them in German. With potatoes you call the spots eyes, but... Oh, there's a cat! Ooh, look at him. Look at him, look at him. Oh, Jesus Christ! That cat darted out of here. He wanted nothing to do with me. Fair enough. I guess the cat saw me approach with a giant water hose, so can you really blame him for darting it out of there? Cats and water usually don't mix all that well. Except for a certain species. There is actually a species of cat in China. It's not a house cat, but it is one of the cats that's roughly as big as a house cat. So I will refer to it as something akin to a house cat for now. And that cat is so aquatic that 60% of its nutrition comes from fish, because it is kind of used to hunting stuff in rivers and so on and so forth. It's also one hell of a savage cat, because there was a story about one of them breaking out in a Chinese zoo, breaking into, I think it was the leopard enclosure, and is killing the leopard, which is like, excuse me, what? We're talking about a leopard. Was it a leopard? It was one of the big cats, and definitely not a cheetah, lion or tiger. So I think it was a leopard, but maybe it was something like a mountain lion as well. Either way, that thing killed that big cat. It killed a wild cat that was roughly 30 times its weight class, I would presume. I don't know how much those cats actually weigh, but it was way bigger. So just assume something similar to a house cat killing a leopard. Oh, and that's a doghouse. It's kind of funny how some things are insanely dirty while the other things right next to them are incessantly clean. Like this house over there is in perfect condition. Not a speck of dirt on it all, but the road leading up to it and all, filthy. Insanely filthy. Is that still dirt? Ah, yeah, it is. It actually is. Oh, and we do actually have notes for all the specific sides of the dog world. House, that's nice. I should probably lean back a little more. Just be relaxed. Relax. Don't do it. Relax. But yeah. This is the kind of game I will probably save for chatty days. Like, I'm not going to play through this game in one straight line, like I did with something like Shadow of War. Granted, Shadow of War was a little bit of an outlier on my channel as well. Sorry about that. Because usually I kind of start back and forth with a lot of games. But with Shadow of War, I just felt like finishing it in one fell swoop. Because, well, for several reasons. Reason number one, I was playing on the highest difficulty, and I was a little worried that if I was going to mix it up with other games too much, I would basically just end up becoming worse at the game. Because, let's be honest, getting rusty in certain games is a thing. Okay, where does... Okay, I think it's probably up there, isn't it? There we go. Getting rusty in certain games is a thing that happens to all of us whenever we don't play a game for a while. Okay, almost, come on. Finish last piece shot, there we go. And I was worried that if I actually stopped it, I would never be able to finish the game anymore. But now that we are actually done with the game, we can do other things again. Isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely? So... I see it. I see it. That's one little thing here. Where the hell is the still done? Maybe it's the lower end of this? Okay, I have no idea where this doghouse, the rooftop, is still dirty right now. It's probably... Ah, wait, I think it's this side, isn't it? This kind of looks dirty. Kind of. We're kind of obsessing. Oh no, it's this little patch here. I know I keep saying that, and so far not much is moving. But we did actually finish off most of the dirt there, so I think for the most part our hunters were right. It has... Ah! There we go, there we go. Now the doghouse is finally done. Nice, nice, nice. And we can move on again. Okay, there's a lot ahead of us in this area. What even is this? Is this supposed to be some kind of fire pit? I think this is supposed to be some form of fire pit. Either that or a bird bath. I could also see this being a bird bath, although it would probably be too big for a bird bath. Okay, you know what? Let's load it. Oh, I like that there was the shape of a dog bone on the ground there. That's a nice little bit of detail. This is also one of the things that I really appreciate about this game already, because a lot of the time simulator games just seem really cheaply thrown together with barely any attention to detail or any form of cost sacrifice. Like, most of the time simulator games are barely capable of simulating anything. Okay, you know what, we're going to go for one level lower, because I don't really feel like the big hose is cleaning anything at all. The amount of times I need to go over things with the widest spray compared to the second widest is just a little excessive, don't you think? There we go, there we go, nice and clean. What kind of dirt are we even talking about here? Like, what do we think this is? Is this black mold, ash, just a general amalgamation of gunk? Could be anything, even a boat. So, switch the nozzle around, there we go. Okay, the yellow stains do make me think we are talking about mold here. But then I would have to wonder what even mold is there, because usually mold only grows on organic matter. So did someone just spray a thin layer of butter over the entire thing and wait for the mold to settle in? Or what exactly happened here? Speaking of mold, I know it's not really a good topic, but I do have a little bit of a mold problem in my isopodic enclosures right now. Mostly because I did give them a couple of old sweet potatoes, and that in of itself isn't really the problem here, because usually isopods love sweet potatoes, and that includes sweet potatoes, and so they did this time around, but the sweet potato was very old, and immediately started to mold the day after, so way faster than the isopods could have ever finished that, so I'm not blaming them for that one. Heck, it would be very stupid of me to blame my own pets to not be able to finish the amount of food I'm providing them with. But yeah, now we've got mold in the enclosure, which isn't too bad. Isopods are actually very resilient when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, they have to be. They are literally living in a world of rot and decay. That's their preferred home, otherwise they're not going to feel well anyway. But it just doesn't look nice, so generally speaking I try to avoid it for the most part. It will eventually die off once it runs out of nutrition, because that's not the first time something like that happens. But in the meantime it just looks a little disgusting. No, I'm not going to post pictures about that, because I don't think anyone wants to see that. Heck, I don't want to see them, and I keep those. Is this another? I think this is dirt. I think this is dirt. Do we eat? Oh wait, we did plant something there. I think we might just switch over to the biggest nozzle right now, because I can't quite make out where dirt is anymore. So switching over to the big nozzle is probably going to give me a good shot at just hitting it with the good old spray and spray tactic. Or maybe it is on the other side of the wall somewhere. That could also be the case. I don't think there is another side of the wall though, at least not one that counts for this. So the stone wall here is the one we need to get cleansed. Oh, okay, that works as well. Okay. Hey, okay, progress. Progress is happening after all. Oh yes, look at that. Another nice thing about this here is that the gunk just disappears, because in a real life scenario you would just move the gunk from place to place, and we all know that that's not as easily looking. In the real world we would have probably killed most of the grass here by just flooding it with gunk. Very calm and relaxing cleaning session. So the retaining wall. Okay, friend of me is asking me when stream. There we go. So let's answer that question real quick. I do laugh that he just asked me on Telegram if when I'm going to stream after, instead of just checking if I'm live already. So where the hell could the last bit of are these little small yellow patches here the remaining dirt? I think they might be. They're sturdy. I'll give them that. It looks like we can actually get rid of them. Oh, and up there is something else. Okay, so there we go, there we go. It's looking better now. It is looking better now. That's pretty good. Okay. Oh, by the way, I am watching a lot more anime right now, because a lot of the time, and one of the main reasons why I stopped watching so much anime in general was because, well, there were two big reasons. OMG, wash all the dirt off, wash it good, working on it, my man. I'm looking for the last little bit of dirt that's on this wall, but don't you worry, we've got a lot of dirt still ahead of us. Hello there, how are you doing? Also, you just said, why did no one tell me? I told you at several instances that there would be a stream today and that it would be an earlier stream today. Don't try to pin this one on me. Oh, wait, I think we just moved the dirt somewhere there. Where could the last bit of dirt be? I really don't see it. Yeah, but that there would be, but not when. I mean, usually my starting time is around 4 PM when I mean early, and I said earlier today, so well, They need exact hours and minutes. Not even I know the exact hours and minutes, my friend. That is something that I will have to fight with myself as well. So I'm sorry, but I cannot go that far. If you need more detailed explanations, I do recommend just joining the Discord or Twitter, because I do post on those whenever I go live. I know you don't like Twitter, but Discord is an option, my friend. So, where the hell is this last little bit of dirt on this wall? It's probably going to be one of the hard to clean patches, and that's why just rinsing the general area doesn't do anything right now. But I can't seem to find. I mean, I guess I could still just go for spray, and sooner or later we are going to find it. Ah, wait, something moved there. I think the problem is we've washed most of it off already, and literally all that is left is just one almost invisible speck of dirt. There we go. I didn't see anything there, but that wall is clean now. Throw a water bomb. I don't think we have a water bomb right now. Like, as soon as we have access to a water bomb, I promise you we are going to use that, but sadly enough today is not that day yet. You always want what you can't have, don't you, Bellatrix? You want the undead dragon from the get-go, you want the water bomb in PowerWash Simulator. You do not care about the things you already have access to. No. You want the unobtainable, the unachievable. That is the only thing you care for. But the second you will get them, you will be unhappy because they are no longer the unachievable and unobtainable. No. It needs something new. Something more exciting than before. There we go. Honestly speaking, if my lawnmower looks like this, I would just consider maybe we need to throw it away. Because in all honesty, I don't know how well this thing is going to work anymore anyway, after being hit with high pressure water for an extended period of time. There we go. Inner side of the wheels I can blend. And also it's very lucky for us that there's always only dirt in accessible places. Like, could you imagine if that lawnmower was dirty on its underbelly? Ooh, that would be impossible for us to do. Is there a nuclear option for dirt that's just too tough to get rid of? And I mean literal nuclear. Maybe the final level will be us just wiping out an entire city because we can no longer be bothered with that shit. Oh! Is that a horseshoe? Okay, for a second I thought it was just the imprint of a horseshoe. That would have also been funny. I do know, I mean, the closest thing to anything nuclear in this game that I'm aware of is the fact that they are currently working on a Bikini Bottom level from SpongeBob and a Warhammer level, although I can't remember if it was Warhammer 40k or Fantasy Warhammer. But they are doing some funny shit with this game, I do have to give it to them. They are actually doing stuff with this game. And the updates like that are actually free. They don't have like $2,000 worth of updates for basically random bullshit like some other simulator games out there. I don't remember which game it was anymore, but it was 100% one of the simulator games that just had an obscene amount of DLC for minute things. Power water stream underwater in Bikini Bottom. Maybe we are going to use air power or boiling water. Hard to say at this point in time, truly. Maybe we are going to clean the inside of this one Squirrel Girl's apartment. Because I think that one is without water. Hey, there we go. I don't know much about SpongeBob, but I do know that there's a Squirrel Girl with an apartment, well, not an apartment, a house that is basically underwater in this airtight bubble. Well, I guess it is more like a glass container than an airtight bubble, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Those trains seem to have a ton of expensive DLC. You can buy every train there ever was, ever will be, and lose your house. Ah, yeah. Lose your house simulator. Let's go. Honestly, that would probably be a simulator game that I could also see being fun. Something that allows you to not lose your house, but decorate your house. Something like, I don't know, I don't know how you would call it, house decorator simulator. You would probably just call it that now that I think about it. But I am someone who loves decorating houses. But at the same time, you only get to do stuff like that like once or twice every few years. Because for the most part, you just decorate your house and then you are done with it. Unless you're not happy with it, and in that case you just fucked up at the decorating stage already, didn't you? You're warming up in the door. Is it just your way of slippery sloping me into the simulator, Dora? Is that what's happening here? Because if you think that that's what's happening here, then let me just tell you if this is what's happening here. There we go, there you have your answer. Delivered in the form of a simulator game, because I am a kind mercenary. Mercenary? What am I even talking about? I am very sorry about that, I'm feeling a little out of it today. I missed the start. Was it harder to start the bus? It was actually far easier than starting the bus, because unlike Bus Simulator, it doesn't hide everything in needless menus and is inconsistent with its rules. I'm still of the opinion, that's one of the things that pissed me off so much about Bus Simulator. Like, it wanted me to get the bus started only on the very first day. Afterwards, it was never a thing anymore, so it wasn't even simulating something like that. And for those of you that yell, don't you have a driver's license? You're the equivalent of being at BlizzCon saying, don't you guys have phones? There we go, there we go. Is there some dog left behind down there? Oh my god, BlizzCon. The sound of the water trip is extremely realistic and well done, but also a bit loud compared to your voice. Thank you for letting me know. I am going to turn down the audio a little further then. I've already turned it down a decent chunk, but I guess we can go down even further. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much if you're hearing the water sound. Oh wait, there's a specific water volume slider, that's funny. Okay, so you know what, we're just going to turn down the water volume slider. Let me know if it's still too loud or anything like that. Ah, my neck. So, I think I will need to carry over that little step ladder over here, otherwise I'm not going to get to clean the roof of this. But let's finish the sides first, otherwise I'm just going to forget which parts of the side of the shed I've already cleansed. And it's always the last speck of dirt that you've forgotten before that's going to be the biggest issue. There we go, look at that. That is... wait, am I getting it? Okay, I think I did get it. It just takes a little bit to dry off afterwards. There we go, there we go. I'm not sure, it doesn't seem all that effective right now. There we go. Do you wash everything with that one thing, or are there different tools? As far as I'm aware, there's only this one thing. I can change the nozzles and the rotation of the nozzles, but basically this thing is the only thing. The thing that varies is what you get to ultimately wash and stuff like that. But I think the tool itself is just that. Maybe there will be other things later on as well, but for the time being it is just that. Ah, I think that's bird poop. Ah, I mean, granted, bird poop is not quite as disgusting as mammal poop, mostly because mammal poop tends to be a little more sticky and smelly. Dirt poop, generally speaking, are quite dry, because birds are pretty good at dehydrating their feces to save on liquid. Generally speaking, it's understandable that they have to do that because birds poop quite frequently. I don't think any of you came here to learn about bird poop, but now you do. One of the main reasons why birds poop this often is because they are basically built around the idea of staying as light as possible at all times, just so they can stay airborne with the smallest amount of effort. Because even only carrying a little extra weight around during flight can wear them down over time. You sure do know a lot about shit. Should I question that any further? Feel free to question anything any further today. Once again, this is mostly a just chatting stream with something going on in the background. This gameplay allows for me to basically be focused on anything if I want to be. I could probably watch the entirety of an anime show with subtitles while doing this. And you would never know. You don't know what's going on the third screen over there right now. Okay, is there still dirt here? I think that's dirt. Yeah, for cleaning out that last little bit there. Okay, that's a good one. I think that we should probably just go around the edges, because usually the skunk gets stuck on the edges. Okay, and let's do this one last time over on this side. I'm not even going to check for dirt there, I'm just going to assume that this is where the dirt is. But apparently I was wrong. Wait, is this it? No, no it wasn't. Come on, be clean. Be clean, my man! What anime are you watching right now? Ooh, an excellent question. The anime I'm watching currently is called Vinland Saga. A lot of you will probably have heard of Vinland Saga already, because it is on Netflix, and I will just assume that most of us have a Netflix. Yes, we do tend to complain about the Netflix, and a lot of us will probably have cancelled our Netflix after they made the stupid announcement of locking it to one IP router and stuff like that, and everyone was like, are you fucking daft, mate? But yeah, I think a lot of us still have a Netflix, or at least had a Netflix around the time when Vinland Saga originally came out. For those of you that don't know Vinland Saga, it's basically a Viking tale, and the best equivalent that I can give you guys is it's something akin to Game of Thrones as an anime, which is a good thing. It's definitely not nearly as plot heavy as Game of Thrones, and a lot of people hype this one up for me as being like, oh my god, the twists and turns are so unpredictable. And don't get me wrong, by anime standards it definitely is very twisty and very unusual, but by storytelling standards in general, it's not that unusual. It's still an interesting story, but it is not as insane as some anime fans made it out for me personally. It's still good though. The very funny thing about it is though, you have to have a little bit of a weird suspension of disbelief when it comes to Vinland Saga. Because the thing about Vinland Saga is that in a lot of regards it tries to be very accurate to the time, with like being, oh there's slavery and oh there's logistics of wartime, of what we need to do to move the troops and keep them fed and stuff like that. But at the same time there are overpowered super Vikings. And I mean really overpowered super Vikings. We are talking about one Viking who basically held the entirety of London as a defender because he was capable of throwing rocks over an entire lake just to bombard the army on the other side of that lake as a living artillery unit. And that alone is like, yep, suspension of disbelief, everyone. It's kind of funny because in so many parts it tries to be accurate, but then there's super Vikings. I think this building is clean now. At least I don't see any. Wait! Something here. Ah! The hanging planter still needs a little extra. There we go. And I think. Oh! Something else. Ah, yeah, the other hanging planter. There we go. Okay, now. Oh, god damn it, there was one last thing. What was the last thing? I saw something have a little dirt on there while zooming over it. What anime I seen it on the list, did not watch, but now I'm interested in your opinion about the Netflix account sharing controversy. It seems you want to defend Netflix on that subject. Why would I want to defend Netflix on that subject? That was a fucking dumb decision on their end. I'm not defending Netflix at all here, my man. Like, if I sounded like it, then no, that's just not true. It was one of the stupidest things that they could have even considered. Did they reverse that decision? Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff that I'm angry at Netflix about. Like, their tendency to just cancel shows straight out because the logic that Netflix has behind that is that a new show will always attract more people than a sequel to an existing show. Therefore, instead of making sequels to semi-successful shows, they decide to straight up cancel them a lot of the time and just start something entirely new from the ground up. Which makes sense if your only goal is to attract new people, but the problem is you are going to continuously piss off the old fan base you've already built up. I guess in this case fan base isn't really the right word, we should just say customer base. And it is at the point where most people that have Netflix don't even try to get invested in shows anymore unless they are completely finished already, because they don't trust Netflix to actually make endings for them. Like, the amount of shows I've watched on Netflix that never got an ending is just annoying me to no avail. We all do that canceling shit. Netflix started as a savior, now fucks all. Yeah, sad but true, sad but true. These days, watching shows is so complicated in a sense anymore. Because that's the thing, Netflix kind of put a damper on piracy. Because for a time, everything was under the same rooftop, you had access to most shows for a reasonable price point and stuff like that. And that was nice. And nobody bothered with pirating anymore for a while. Well, not nobody, but a lot of people didn't have to bother with pirating stuff anymore. Because why would you pirate stuff when you can just exit it for a reasonable price? Gabe Newell was very right about this. When he said that piracy is almost always an availability problem. If something is reasonably priced and available, then barely any people will resort to piracy instead of just straight up buying the thing. But the problem now is because everyone wants to have its own share of the cake, and every last platform holder wants to have their own streaming thing, be it Disney. I would not want to sit on this bench anymore. Like, you can power wash this as much as you want, but this thing is never going to be truly clean anymore. I also don't think that power washing a fucking couch is going to result in anything but a shit ton of mold. Maybe the mold is not going to start growing on the outside, but somewhere deep down there in a damn corner that doesn't dry well, mold will start to grow. Just throw that shit out, my man. I started to watch season 1 of Let the Right One In. About 5 episodes in, I learned Showtime canceled it after 1 season. It's so annoying. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand when you cancel something that has no success at all. But if something is at least decently successful, you should always go about it in 1 or 2 ways, in my opinion. Either if you're not sure about if this show will be sustainable, don't end it on a fucking cliffhanger. That's the one big thing. They always want to have the option for more stuff coming in the future. That's why they leave a cliffhanger in there. But then they are like, I'm not going to actually finish telling that story. And it's like, okay, then why is the cliffhanger there? Don't make a cliffhanger unless you are sure that you are actually going to finish telling that story later on. That's so obnoxious. And the other very annoying part is, if the show is semi-successful, then please just finish it somewhat. Don't just end in the middle of the story. Give us at least one more half season to kind of wrap it up or so. Don't just say, nope, nothing more. I was so annoyed with them cancelling the Dark Crystal, because I was a huge fan of the Dark Crystal show. For those of you that don't know the Dark Crystal used to be a movie in, I don't even know when that movie was, but the very fascinating thing about that movie and the show consecutively is that they were made with puppetry, and just watching it from an entire art point of view is so fascinating, because it really looks like nothing else you could watch these days. And the world of the Dark Crystal is also quite fascinating. And as far as I'm aware, the Dark Crystal show was pretty successful on Netflix. Heck, they even made a bloody game at some point based on the Netflix show. So you can't tell me it wasn't successful if they actually made a bloody game about that universe that was created in the Netflix show. But even then, Netflix was like, nah, no season 2. In the 80s, okay, so that's when it was created. Right now it feels like every time I hear about a new show that's supposed to be good, it's on Apple TV, on Hulu or MGM+. Some of these aren't even available here in this country. And even if they do, they're really thinking in the thoughts of that 20 different streaming services. Yeah, that's the next thing, because it's too many streaming services right now. And with every consecutive streaming service, the deal you as the consumer gets seems to get worse and worse. Like, let's take a look at streaming service. I honestly think that Disney's streaming service is one of the shittier ones out there. And Disney is one of the biggest companies, because what do you really get when you are when you are subscribing to Disney? It's not that much. First things first, it only works for a single account. It's nothing like a family account or so you can get for Disney Plus, as far as I'm aware. Maybe they changed in the meantime, but that's how it used to be. Then, even though it does have a lot of original shows, not all of these original shows are available anywhere, well, everywhere. And I can understand when licensing is a problem for third-party stuff. But when it is literally your content, then I have no idea why you were not going to make it available anywhere. For example, let's take one of the favorite shows for the Doctor, the DuckTales remake from 2017. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but that one basically has 3 seasons, of which only 2 are available in Europe on Disney+. On the American Disney+, there's all of the seasons already available, but in Europe, there's still only 2 of the seasons available, and it has been years at this point. Maybe it is already on there by now, but even if they added it over the last year, there was still at least a 2 to 3 year period in which they just didn't bother porting the last season over to the European region. Disney thought quantity over quality would work. Sadly enough, I'm pretty sure they are still thinking that, looking at a lot of things. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like Disney doesn't have some banger shows out there. I think The Mandalorian is probably the best thing to ever come out of the Star Wars IP. It does just have such a very unique perspective on the world of Star Wars, and such an interesting way of storytelling with a silent protagonist who isn't one of the biggest heroes out there. He's just a guy trying to survive in the universe of Star Wars, in a sense. Sure, he gets wrapped up in a bigger plotline eventually, but for the most part you just see part of his day-to-day life, and that's very fascinating. That's something you don't get out of most Star Wars media. Also, they thought big names like Star Wars and Marvel is enough. Yeah, that is the other thing. I, for example, don't care at all about Marvel. And if you don't care about Marvel and you are only semi-interested in Star Wars, Disney doesn't really offer you anything. Because it's not like Disney does anything other than those IPs right now anymore. Yes, you will get like 1 animated movie a year, but Disney Plus's deal for their first party movies is probably the shittiest thing out there. I mean, they kind of change it with every movie, but remember the time with the live action Mulan remake where they wanted to charge you, I think, like 18 or 20 bucks to be able to watch the Mulan movie day one on your Disney Plus account. That was just utter insanity. Like, so you have to have a subscription and still pay more than a cinema ticket if you actually wanted to watch that shitty movie. It wasn't even a good movie. They were literally just trying to see how much they are going to get away with. Utter insanity over there. Hey! Ooh. Ah, everything looking nice there. Oh, cushion seems to still be dirty somewhere in there. Ah, is it? Where's the last bit of dirt? Has to be this front bit here, right? Ah, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Okay, you know what? Let's go for deep cleaning there. Let's really blast it all out. Ah, yeah, and there. Oh my god, it's very hard to get in there right now. Very hard to use the dirt at an angle that will actually move with that thing. Mandalorian was nice in season 1 and 2. Season 3 I found unwatchable, stopped after 2 episodes. I have not really watched season 3 because I don't really see a point in season 3. Like, the story of the Mandalorian was told. The only reason that they brought him back was because the fucking Book of Boba Fett flopped so hard. The Book of Boba Fett I do actually consider to be unwatchable. Like, I am someone that usually whenever he starts to commit to watching something, he also finishes the thing. Some series or so I stop, but if I stop a series before finishing it after already being invested in, then the series has to be quite bad. The Book of Boba Fett was bad enough for me to stop in the middle of a bloody episode because I was so done with this bullshit. Oh my god! I am really not getting that final bit of dirt out of there, am I? I can even see it. There we go, finally. Oh, wait. What is that? There's supposed to be a lot of dirt on this card. Where? No, seriously, where? Oh, I see now. Nope, a little... Ah, it's there. There we go. That's the problem. There we go. Okay, it's getting better. Ever so slightly getting better. There's still more dirt here than I would like. Can I... Okay, seriously speaking, I kind of assumed there's dirt on the lower side of the couch right now. But what can I do with that? Can I move this thing somehow? Ah, okay, now we are talking. Now we are talking. That's the last big hideout for the gang. Never watched Boba Fett, I only know the infamous Vespa Gang. I think the Vespa Gang episode was the one where I actually stopped watching it because I just couldn't be arsed with that stupid show anymore. There we go. But yeah, the color-coded Power Rangers. Also, Boba Fett is just such a fucking idiot in that show. Like, you wouldn't believe it. It's like, no, I'm going to rule this desert with respect. And okay, sure, fair. If you want to rule the desert with respect, be my guest. But the main problem I have is he just default expects everyone to just keep their word at any given point, be respectful to him as well. And it's like, my dude, just because you decide to be respectful all of a sudden doesn't mean that everyone around you will do the same thing. You should know that. You were a bounty hunter, for fuck's sake. Amazon is not much better right now. Thinking hundreds of millions in a series, expecting a hit, maybe get good write-ups. I still don't understand how it was possible for Amazon to sink that much money into the Rings of Power. Me and my girlfriend are currently on a kind of an epic quest to watch everything Lord of the Ring ever. And so far we have seen the first of the movies, all 3 Hobbit movies. We have seen a 12-minute long animated voice-over picture book, in a sense, called The Legend of the Hobbit from 1966 or so. Then we have seen Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Ring. We've seen the animated Hobbit movie and the animated Return of the King movie. We still have to watch the Finnish live-action series Hobbitit. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Hobbitit with her, because that one sure looks like a trip and a half as well. And once we are done with the actual main movies, we are probably also going to get through Rings of Power as well. I don't know why we decided to do this to ourselves, but we are this close to having watched every single bit of Lord of the Rings media ever that we might as well also watch the Rings of Power to full completion. Just to see how much of a train wreck it is until the very end. I think we've seen 4 episodes of Ring of Power by now, when we originally gave the series a shot and we're like, wow, this is boring as sin. Amazing, not much better. Citadel of Lord of the Ring. Have you watched the 60s Hobbit yet? I'm pretty sure I have. We are talking about the one with the weird Yeti looking Gollum, right? That was the 12-minute short film. I can send you a full list of all the movies that we've seen so far at some point if you want. Once again, the next thing on the agenda is either Hobbitit or the actual good Lord of the Rings movie. We are not yet decided. The Rings of Power we are kind of saving until the very end, because I don't think any of us really have power for the Rings of Power. But yeah, I once again, I really do have no idea how they managed to spend that much money on Rings of Power. The series looks so bland. Like, you had such a huge budget and you managed to create something that's so bland. And as you've already mentioned, just spend some money on actual writers. That's the thing I've noticed with a lot of big studios in Hollywood. A lot of them are willing to sink hundreds of millions, if not billions, into a movie, but they cheap out when it comes to the writers, and I don't understand why. Like, at that point, if you're spending that much, spending a couple $1,000 on a good team of writers doesn't really seem like that much of an extra investment anymore, does it? Especially since a good team of writers can actually do some heavy lifting, even if the actual visuals of the movie are not all that impressive, even assuming that the actors can actually pull off the dialogue that they need to do. Don't need a list, won't do that to myself. The Finnish one seems to be the only one interesting. Ah yes, Hobbitit. Hobbitit we still need to watch, as previously mentioned. But I am looking forward to Hobbitit. I am kind of curious to see what they did with a Lord of the Rings series back in the day. I think it is like 9 episodes, each of them is 20 to 25 minutes long. And I don't know for how long Hobbitit actually lasts as well. Because I'm pretty sure I saw Frodo and Sam at some point in there. So it's probably not just going to be the story of the Hobbit, but rather the Lord of the Rings movies as well, I think. But I guess we'll have to see about that. I guess we will have to see about that. So let's take a little bit of a close look. I think everything here is clean. That's nice. That's nice. I think we are roughly halfway done with this area. Oh yeah, we're definitely halfway done with this area. I've just taken a look at the completion thing up there in the corner. Just seeing the dude in the grey body painted golem will be glorious. Oh, absolutely. But who knows, maybe it's actually going to be an insanely good golem. He's definitely going to be better than the Gollum game, I can tell you that much for it. Oh my god, I think I posted a link to it on the Discord, but I've actually taken a look at someone's review, or rather someone's supercut of a playthrough who actually beat the Gollum game, because I do know a lot of the reviewers that I watched didn't even bother beating the Gollum game. They were like, I've seen enough of this to know that it is utter trash. Why would I torture myself even further with this? But no, this guy actually played to the very end of it, and finishing the game was more difficult than any of us could have imagined. He said at some point he had to restart the final level for like, I think 2 or 3 hours straight, just because it kept crashing upon first loading the game. That alone is insane to me. Like the amount of dedication you need if you actually want to try to finish this game. I think the achievement for completing the game that he got, he shared with only 0.01% of the general populace. And that we're talking about a game that doesn't have that many players to begin with. Oh, beat it. And the Golem thing. The Golem thing is, I don't know. I think, generally speaking, we are going through a little bit of a resurgence when it comes to Lord of the Rings right now. Because Marvel has kind of helped to push the sci-fi age for a while now, and we have been seeing things that are either in current time or near future current time or just straight up. Is this blood? I will just say that this is old ketchup, not blood. Yep, nothing to see. Oh my god, could you imagine if they added a level where you have to clean up a crime scene? I could see them do that. Because that is an actual profession in the real world. People whose entire job is solely cleaning up crime scenes. Getting blood splatters and human body parts out of rugs and so on and so forth. Kind of an insane job if you really think about it, but someone has to do it, I guess. Someone has to do it out there. Whee! I think we can go for a little more of a concentrated spray here. It seems a little tough to wash off right now. But yeah, a couple of other things that I've noticed in regards to Lord of the Rings stuff that's coming on right now is, for example, we are getting a Magic the Gathering set that is entirely themed around Lord of the Rings. I did take a look at the card art. I have no intention of getting back into Magic the Gathering, or for that matter, any card game that doesn't just straight up sell me the expansions in fixed sets. Everything with booster packs that are literally loot boxes telling you power is a giant no-go for me these days. I am very much over that part of my life where I was spending hundreds and thousands of bucks to have a smidgen of the collection of a set. I have no problem to continuously buy expansions for a board game or a card game that I like. Like, let's say for example, one of my favorite games right now, Summoner Wars. It is a card game, and every couple of months it brings out the 2 new expansion packs, both of them new factions with complete decks for 15 to 20 bucks a piece. And I will always buy them, because I really like the game, and I think it's a very fair business model. I love surprise mechanics. I work a second job just for loot boxes. Do you now? Are you going? That's why you can't afford the tier 3 subscription over here, I see. Oh my god. I still think I don't know, since people are cracking down hard of loot boxes, it still surprises me that card packs and boosters somehow still manage to fly under the radar. Because more and more countries are starting to crack down and stuff. And in some countries you are even getting some form of an overkill there. Like for example, the countries where gambling Twitch points is quite literally forbidden. Like, if you're doing that as a country, I think you're going too far, because let's be honest, the Twitch gambling isn't really anything whatsoever. At least I've never seen a case where that's a problem. But booster packs should actually be regulated as well. Because at the end of the day, you are literally doing the same thing. People are buying and reselling cards. They're gambling a shit ton of money away, hoping to get that one ultra rare card, their current Black Lotus. Oh my god, speaking of Black Lotus, there is something akin to the Lord of to the Black Lotus in the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings card set. They do of course have a card that is the Ring of Power in that set. And they do make a special thing where there is one special print of that card, where there will literally be only a single copy of that card in the entire world. A version of that card where the Rings text is basically printed in Elvish on the card. And they shoved it in just one random booster pack out there. And I swear to god, if this card is not going to be worth a small fortune, I just don't know. Okay, we are slowly getting better here. This is starting to look like a garden again, which is nice. I think I'm going to finish these stairs over here before I really get down to the pit. The pit seems like a future issue for now. Make a lottery of it, great idea. The thing that it reminds me of the most is actually Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the 5 golden tickets. So, let's see. So, looking good, looking good. Oh my god, we still need so much over here. This is such a wide open area that it will be so tough to spot the little speckles of dirt left behind. Why are you still at that house? To the next level. I'm not done with this level yet, my friend. Look at this. We are only 64% done. I mean, I guess we could bring some variety in here and clean one of the other many things around here. But we still have to finish this house before we can actually move on. The house is a big place. I do know that in one of the later levels you actually get to clean a plane and stuff like that. So I am looking forward to see what else we are going to get there at a certain point. There we go. Toy car seat. There we go. I think that's the entire toy car being dealt with. See, a little bit of variety. Now you've got a car. That thing not even rolling when you shoot it with the high pressure. I mean, the swing is not even swinging. To be fair, it is a simulator game. If you expect something like actual working physics from a simulator game, then you have never played a simulator game in your life before. Remember Bus Simulator? I don't think there was even a second of thought put behind any physics in bloody Bus Simulator. Honestly, this kind of looks like the leftover stuff in a fish tank. This stuff does remind me of Lycan and so on and so forth. If I had my isopods here, I could just unleash them, because isopods love to eat Lycan. I've noticed that when I just put a piece of tree bark in there at some point, mostly as decoration, and for a couple of days straight they did nothing but feast on the Lycans. They ignored basically everything else in regards to food in there. that being the wood and the leaf litter and went for nothing but the lichen. That being said, what did I want to say? I wanted to say something about the lichen. Yeah, I'm just going to hope this is lichen and not something disgusting. Whee! Whee! Oh, speaking of anime, I did re-watch an anime recently with my girlfriend and it is my favorite anime of all time. Have you guys ever heard of Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica? It's not a very long anime, it has like 12 episodes, but it is such an excellently told story. I love that anime so much, and I wanted to share it with my girlfriend for a while now, but it is also kind of a very depressing story in many regards. Like, I cried once when rewatching it and my girlfriend cried like I think 2 or 3 times in several instances. So it is definitely a story that hits home quite hard, or dependent on your own mental state. And because both of us can be semi-mentally unstable in regards to our stuff like depressions and so on and so forth, we did kind of save that anime until a point where we're like, okay, you know what? I think we are now finally mentally stable enough for it. And after almost 3 years of dating this weekend, we finally got around to watch it. It was glorious. If any of you have never seen Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica before, I can really recommend it. You can get through the entire anime in an afternoon, and it is, once again, in my honest to god opinion, the best anime ever made. Is there a hose when you look down? Is it connected to the actual machine? I don't think so. I mean, there is something on my back. Once you're done with a level, you kind of get a super time loop of your character cleaning the entire thing, which is kind of nice in my opinion. It's kind of a cute little detail. I think, is it dirty down there? Yeah, it is dirty down there. So much dirt. A little awkward to hit that thing on the right angle. Oh wait, that's also dirt. Jesus Christ. How did this apartment get so dirty while the actual house is still clean right next to it? I mean, maybe a colleague power washer already cleaned the house. It's a little annoying that you sometimes have to keep a minimum distance and stuff like that when you actually have to be quite crouched down to be able to get rid of it. You know what, let's do it up and down. Up and down, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. In a sense, someone just took shooter mechanics and was like, hey, how about we make it about cleaning? Speaking about shooters though, speaking of shooters. PowerWash, I don't know, PowerWash still doesn't have an exact release date, but I do feel like we are getting closer to it, mostly because the developers are posting more and more in-engine trailers, well not even trailers, but rather short clips on their personal Twitter. And every single one of them makes me want to play the game more. So their marketing department is doing something right, that's for sure. Destroy the flowers! Can do, will do. I guess we're just watering them. We are watering them with a power washer. Which is... Oh, we actually need to clean the birdhouse. That's funny. That is funny. Birds are actually very filthy creatures, which in a sense is understandable, because birds are always on the move for the most part, and therefore they don't really have to bother themselves with cleanliness and stuff like that. But at the same time, bird nests are disgusting to the point where sometimes birds have to go through drastic measures to not make sicknesses free. For example, some species of owls actually toss live snakes into their nests with their young, not as food for the youngins though, but rather because they want the snakes to eat the orbitant amount of parasites that also live in their house, because their nests are just that fucking filthy. Always live and learn. Oh wait. Oh wait, that's behind it. I think we're done with the birdhouse. I think birdhouse is clean now. Think birdhouse is clean now. There we go. Whee! Oh my god, 72%. This one is quite a big house. But to be honest, it is looking quite neat already. Did you learn that from anime? My friend, I've learned everything I know from anime. How do you know, how do you think I learned about sex? Hentai. All hentai. Every single thing I know about sex comes from hentai. And if it ever comes to a situation in my life where something in real life seems to contradict what I've learned from hentai, then I will just assume that the real life situation is an outlier, because let's be completely honest, the hentai creators wouldn't lie to us here. I do also want to watch a couple more current anime right now, because I'm giving a lot of stuff a shot right now. I did give Boki the Rock a shot, but quite frankly, it didn't really impress me much. Boki the Rock was sold to me as a slice of life with more complicated characters than most slices of life. But in all honesty, I can't really agree with that, because, I don't know, all the characters I've seen in there are very one-dimensional, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because let's be completely honest, if you're watching a slice of life, you don't want drama, you don't want major character development. It wouldn't hurt if it is there, but for the most part you're just there for a comfy time. Because that's the main reason why people watch slice of life. Some people really don't understand why anyone would watch a slice of life, because nothing happens in them. But to those people I can actually explain the charm of slice of life, because nothing happening is the selling point. For example, I usually suffer from seasonal depression, especially around the times of January and February, sometimes even March. And during that time I do need to be quite careful about what kind of media I'm going to consume, because even slight conflict and so might upset me and send me spiraling down and stuff like that, which isn't great, but it is what I have to live with for several months a year. And during those times, slice of life are actually quite nice to watch, just because it does give you a certain amount of comfort, not, or rather, knowing that nothing dramatic is going to happen. There will be no major conflict, nothing that's going to send you spiraling down into your major depression again. That's what watching slice of life is all about. So, almost done here with the ground level, I think. I mean, there's still a decent chunk left, but we are making headway. Sometimes the dirt stains are very indistinguishable from the shadows, I do have to say. Maybe that's a me problem, but for a second I thought it was just the shadow of the chair. Well, it was actually just a giant patch of black mold. A friend told me to play Doki Doki Literature Club against my depression. I'm sorry to inform you, my friend, but that friend of yours is actually no friend at all. Don't get me wrong, Doki Doki Literature Club is a great game, but is it going to help you with depression? Why don't you ask the severe amount of trigger warnings at the start of it? Okay, there is some dirt left here. We almost have the pair shield clean. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Wonderful. Another advantage of this. Oh. Come on. Get up there. You know what? I don't think I need the ladder. I can just hover over here. I, weirdly enough, can't climb all the way up, but I can hover up here somehow. Oh, okay, so much for that. You know, we're just going to get the ladder. We are just going to get the... Wait, the pond wall is not entirely clean yet? Oh. Is this still part of the pond wall? No, this is the retaining wall. My bad. I mixed up the pond wall and the retaining wall. How could I ever do that? It was the doctor. I assumed it was the doctor. I had a hunch that it might have been the doctor. It's the orange of the water holding you up in the air. It's the pressure of the water holding you up in the air. You know what? That seems like a reasonable explanation. We are going to use this as a superpower. Fun fact, there is actually something akin to a jetpack that actually works with water power. Well, I don't know where exactly that was, or which country or so, but it's basically a jetpack connected with a tube that constantly pumps water downwards that you can just ride over the ocean. Kind of funny. It's not practical in any way, it's just a funny little gimmick. But I could see this being fun. Okay, where exactly is the retaining wall still dirty? Okay, there it was still dirty. I should probably clean that down there. There we go. It leaves us with but the retaining wall. Probably some of the this harder stenchit. Stenchit? No. Harder patches of dirt down there. Slow. There we go, another thing done. 85% clean. That's another cleanliness. There are no fun activities in the ocean cause of sharks. Depends on how deep you go into the ocean. Also, it depends on if you actually like hunting sharks or stuff like that. Me, I've never. My main problem with the ocean is less about sharks though. The thing that disgusts me more about the ocean is humans, if I'm completely honest with you. But that's kind of for the same reason why I don't like to go into public pools, as I previously mentioned. I just don't like sharing any body of water with strangers. If I was one of the bathing monkeys, I would definitely be the territorial monkey who keeps the stranger monkey out of the pond. That sounds kind of racist, but that is literally what the bathing monkeys in Japan do. The hot bathes, the natural ponds. What is it? It's not natural pond. What's the word that I'm looking for? Give me a second. I want to look this up. What's hot spring? That's the word I was looking for. I remembered it. A hot spring. The hot springs are actually very well thought over for these kinds of monkeys because they are crucial for their survival in winter. So, let's get down there. I think we should probably finish the umbrella first before we do anything else. Because otherwise I could see myself just forgetting about the umbrella and being like, what the hell is still dirty here? The umbrella. It is the umbrella. But I can understand a general terror of the ocean. Just because it is literally the most unfamiliar place for us as humans. It is kind of crazy sometimes that we know more about space than we do about the ocean. There we go. Like, why are we spending so many resources on traversing a location that it will most likely be useless for us for at least several hundreds of years in the future? Because let's be completely honest here, even if space travel will become far more efficient and successful and accessible, what are we even going to do with it? All of the nearby planets in our solar system are dead rocks floating through space. There's literally no reason to go to any other planet. I know tech billionaires do have that fucking bullshit idea of, yes, but we're going to use the other planets for once we have fucked up Earth too much. But I can promise you, the fucking Earth, or rather repairing Earth, will always be easier than creating a second Earth from fucking scratch. Yeah, I don't think we even know more. We know more space than the ocean. We haven't even left our solar system. We only know about only a single % of the entire ocean is actually mapped out. That's literally it. 1% of the ocean is mapped out. with vast landscapes in between the mapped areas. We know nothing about the ocean, and the ocean could actually provide useful for us. We could find interesting things down there. We could find new animals, new resources, and so on and so forth. But no, ocean is not exciting. We gotta throw more money and resources at space, yay. Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, I can understand it. Space fair is just more exciting on paper, but it's also far less useful for us as a species. So, yeah, so there we go. Hey, there we go. That's a beautiful table there, isn't it? Look at this table. I would be willing to sit and eat at this table as soon as some of those chairs are also cleaned up, because holy hell, I am not going to sit on these chairs. No, sir. So, there we go. There was also... The ocean is a fascinating topic to me. I know we've talked about Subnautica in the past, and while I am been fascinated by the game Subnautica, I still want to kind of save that for my girlfriend, because I don't know if you remember, or even if I told you, but my girlfriend is fascinated by the game Subnautica, but is too scared to play it alone because she also suffers from fear of the ocean. So our plan was kind of that she would play the game live on stream while I'm sitting next to her just providing colorful commentary so that she doesn't have to go through it alone. I think that could be fun. But right now, finding time for that is always difficult. But I still think that is a good idea, so I still want to save Subnautica for exactly that. There we go. Another chair done. Subnautica is amazing, that it is. Although, I'm kind of surprised that you're such a huge fan of Subnautica, but you don't like seeing more Rain World, because from my point of view, the interesting parts of Subnautica and Rain World are quite literally the same. The main reason why I'm curious about any of those games is because they provide me with interesting ecosystems. Because I think that's something most of you know about me, but if not, I am someone who loves a good fantasy ecosystem. I love just seeing what kind of weird creatures people can come up with, and especially how they survive and interact with each other. Because everyone can just plump down any kind of weird looking creature and call it a day. But the real art comes from actually creating an environment in which that creature makes sense. Other creatures and plants which they interact with, and so on and so forth. And that's the really cool part, if you ask me. That's why I love Pikmin, that's why I like Monster Hunter, I mean, one of the reasons why I like Monster Hunter. That's why I like, what else do I like? Rain World! Let me think, are there any other games with fascinating fantasy ecosystems? I guess to a certain degree I would count creature collectors in general, although in most creature collectors the actual ecosystem is more of an afterthought, let's be completely honest there. I will assume that there's going to be dirt up there, isn't there? Okay, also, there's still dirt over here. So how about we just wash that off? Wash it all away, let your sins wash away. It is one of the most surprising games for me ever. Is it now? Interesting. What exactly surprised you so much about Subnautica? Oh, there's actually no dirt up here. Well, I guess I can still do a quick little rinse. And then just continue over from the other side. Because this thing is one of the last things that are still left there. We just have to rinse it. Just have to rinse it a little more. I'm considering, is it even, you know, let's just go for the higher pressure. Because I don't know, the big cleansing thing doesn't really seem to be doing too much. You need to go over everything so much more than you would have to if you're just using the slightly more concentrated power on this one. that I'm really like, okay, is there even any value in me doing it with the big one in the first place? There we go. There we go. Subnautica also had a sequel. I partially know a couple of things about the first game because Subnautica was one of those games that got big enough for it to be impossible to not know things about Subnautica. Okay, the pond wall is still dirty. Where's the pond wall still dirty? Ah yeah, there we go. Oh, and the pond wall is still dirty. You know what, let's just go about it like this, and we're just going... Ah, okay, there was some dirt over there, apparently. Can't seem to find whatever dirt's remaining there. Does this count? Ah, okay, this seems to count as more of the pond wall. Gotcha, gotcha. Wash it all out. Let your sin wash away. How much do you need to clean the progress to the next level? I would assume 100%. I would assume 100%. Ah, there's the dirt. I mean, at this point we are almost done anyway. We're like 5 last %. And also, isn't the thing that's nice about this that we, when you see it being perfectly clean afterwards, at a certain point, once you get close to the end, I think it also tells you which part of the level you still need to finish cleaning. Okay, you know what? Let's clean this thing here in the meantime, because here I can actually clearly see what I still need to do. This thing here is very obvious in regards to where the dirt is. Oh, and the second one here is also still dirty, so how about we get that one out of the way real quick. There we go. Subnautica is not a real sequel, I think. More like a standalone expansion. Subnautica 2 is an own thing that is hopefully coming. I would be up for it. Once again, we need more games with good fantasy ecosystems. Fantasy ecosystems are so underrated when they are well done. But Below Zero is also amazing, loved it. Okay. Do you play the same protagonist in Below Zero, or are you playing someone entirely different now that you said that it's a standalone expansion? I'm curious. I'm curious about that. Okay, I'm just going to assume that there is no dirt over in the corner, and also we still need to rinse this one off. It just feels weird to have this perfectly clean grass right next to it. Like, sure, grass doesn't get dirty as easily just because it's bendy, it's growing and stuff and so on and so forth. But still, the grass just being perfectly clean right next to it seems a little weird, visually speaking. So, there we go. Oh, almost missed the spot there. Almost missed the spot there. There we go, isn't it nice? 97%! Alrighty then. Close to a job being well done right now. Also, there was a trend on TikTok where people with unusual jobs would just film themselves doing the jobs. Like, a lot of the time it didn't even have to be unusual jobs, just jobs in general. And I do remember there was a guy with a power washer there as well. And watching that guy was one of the things why I thought this game would probably be relaxing, because just washing something that's so insanely dirty and seeing it return to its previous state is kind of satisfying. So, and we are done over here. This grill here certainly has seen better days, but if this game has taught me anything so far, then it is that electronics are immune to high pressure water. So what do we care? What do we care? We are just getting paid to power wash. If we're doing anything right in life, then it is power wash. Oh my god, there's still dirt down there. Can I even get that from over here? Oh, okay, yeah, we got that. We did get that from over there. Nice. Ah, yes, I knew that there would be a dirty underbelly of the beast. Different protagonist, different story. Same planet, but Arctic setting. Ah, okay. I knew that... Excuse me. I knew that there was an Arctic setting, but I didn't know if it was the same planet or not. I kind of assumed that it would be the same planet, just because if you are changing the general setting anyway, I saw very little point in actually switching the planet up. But what do I know? Maybe at the end of the original game you blow up the planet, so I don't know. I know nothing. Well, I don't know nothing. I did play Subnautica for a couple of hours before switching over to other games. Not because I didn't like my time with Subnautica, but you know how it is. Sometimes other games just come along. Sometimes other games just come along. I don't want to tell you too much. The most interesting part of the game would be not knowing the game. Oh, absolutely fair. I don't want to be told too much about it either. Because that's the thing. Once you know the game, you can discuss the game at length, but you can replay the game and still have fun with it, but you always only get one first playthrough of a game, and the first playthrough oftentimes delivers you the most unique experience. Like for example, Hollow Knight. I love Hollow Knight, and I've replayed Hollow Knight countless of times in the past. But the thing about Hollow Knight as well is that I will never get the first exploration of the game back. The gas supply still has dirt on there somewhere, okay. Just going to assume that I'll have to shoot that from the side somewhere, there we go. Oh, and... Wait, can I open this somehow? There was something that the control... Ah, the control panel. The control panel. Of course, the control panel, and of course it's the underside. There we go. 99%. The switch nozzle. Wait, switch nozzle? Oh, we can also do that. Gotcha. Okay, so I guess that does tell me that we are going to get different cleaning utensils later on. Didn't even click that one, but apparently we're going to get cleaning liquids and new nozzles and different kind of cleaning guns. I kind of just assumed that we would have this one for the entire playthrough, but apparently not. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. Left, what? Change stance? Left control? Oh wait, this is just tutorial missions. It's trying to tell me how to play the game. I have been playing this game for a while. Wait, tab, show dirt? Oh! Okay, you know what? That does make things a lot easier now. I do aim mode. I don't know what aim mode is for, because it doesn't wait. Oh, okay, aim mode means that I am no longer moving as an individual, I can just squirt from a certain point of view. Gotcha. I see now. You know what, okay, granted tutorial you did actually do a couple of things there that I did not yet know about. So, fair. Okay, being able to highlight the dirt here is actually a huge game changer. Can I still get up and not leave aim mode? Yes. Because then we can finally be done with this as well. Okay, there's a lot of dirt on these rocks that is hard to see right now. So, how about we go back to aim mode? Aim mode feels a little weird right now, if I'm completely honest with you, but hey, whatever works, whatever gets the job done. So, little further, almost done. There we go. Okay, there's still dirt somewhere apparently. Okay, I need to get out of aim mode though. Where's the last bit of dirt? Oh, in there somewhere? Ah! Okay, now we're getting the last list. Lawnmower engine and lawnmower handle. Wait, Oh my god, the fucking handle. Yeah, okay, it's a good thing that it tells me which of these things to clean next, because otherwise this would have taken forever. And a fence post. Which fence post? This fence post? I think these are fence posts, yeah. Okay, but which one is still the... Ah! Found it! Found it! Alright, so I guess this fence post is quite literally the last thing for us, and then we're done with... Ah, yeah, I see it. I see it! There we go! Job complete! New job available and extra cleaning liquid in stock. And there we are, look at us cleaning this entire place up. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice? Look at how the gunk's disappearing. One step at a time. Hey! 450 bucks. Wonderful. Beautiful. So, alright. So the next thing is... Oh, we've got a couple of different jobs going on. Clean the bungalow. Clean the dirt bike. Ah, okay, so we can customize your appearance, personalize the look of your washer and extension. Range of washers from small units, okay, to medium units. 900 bucks, I don't have 900. 2,000 bucks! Okay, washers are expensive, I see how it is. So, no, I want to go back to the shop, please. Equipment. A spinning 0-degree nozzle increases the area of effect while maintaining maximum pressure. Okay. Am I using a Prima Vista right now? Okay, I think for the time being I should probably continue as I am, because I don't know which of these things are going to be useful. Clothing is most likely going to be more... Ah, okay. And these things are probably just one-time uses, because there's only so many of them in stock. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Okay, so let's just continue with the next job then. Oh, you know what? Let's do something else. Let's do one of the special ones. How about we go and clean Midgar, my friend? How about that, huh? How about that? That's one of the things that I like about this game. It doesn't take itself too serious, and you are getting a couple of crazy locations there as well. So, well then, welcome to the world of Final Fantasy VII, everybody. I think. I don't know what exactly this is, but Midgard, that is Final Fantasy VII. I guess we are going to clean this car. Is this car in any way, shape or form important? Can't say that I remember it. If it is. Maybe I'm not enough of a Final Fantasy nerd. Wait. Is this another dirty car? Oh, okay. For a second I was like, ah yes. Is this Cloud's bike? I would assume that this is gonna be Cloud's bike. I can't remember enough about Cloud's bike to say for sure, but it definitely looks like something that could be a Final Fantasy bike. I think so. Nice. What the hell did Cloud do with this thing for it to look like this? Oh, open and close the inventory. Current loadout. Stubby power washer. Uh-huh. Okay, and clothing, there we go. Okay, once again, this is definitely more centered around the multiplayer aspect of cleaning together. Once again, I could even see this being a good multiplayer game, because if you have friends that you don't get to talk to too much and actually want to just catch up on, but you also want to do something, you can just play PowerWash Simulator together, have a good time, chat, and still keep your hands busy. Because I'm the kind of person that struggles with quite literally just chatting. I always need to do something on the side. Some people get offended by that, other people understand that I actually have an easier time focusing on a conversation and so on and so forth, when I can even do something on the side. Because the problem is, if I'm not allowed to do something on the side, my mind will just simply start to drift and be gone from there on out. So, if you are willing to share my small attention span, then you are going to get more of my small attention span. How about that? Do we have a deal? There we go. Hey! By the way, are you and Eka playing Diablo right now? I would assume not so, because we didn't even get a hi from Eka, so I doubt that Eka is here right now. But how much Diablo have you two been playing together already? Because you keep telling me about how much Diablo you are playing, and you mentioned that Eka might have overtaken you in regards to how far he's progressed, even though you're both playing on different difficulty options. How does it even work when two players whose characters are played on different difficulty options want to play together? There we go. This thing is consistent of a lot of small parts, I do have to say. Like, for the most part, I don't barely even see what I'm watching here. But we are definitely making progress. We are definitely making progress. There we go. Mr. Strife is going to be so happy with us. Mr. Cloud Strife. Oh, by the way, since we are on the topic of Final Fantasy right now, I don't know if you guys have heard it yet, but I mean, most of you guys are aware that Final Fantasy VII had a remake, and that remake has been split into several parts. And part 1 came out and kind of went by. It was decently successful, but not as successful as Square Enix would have loved it to be. To be fair, Square Enix is never happy, so there's not too much of surprise there. That being said, the sequel is around the corner, and apparently Square Enix is kind of shitting their pants right now, because while the actual sales figures are of course not in, considering the game isn't even out yet, but according to an insider on Square Enix's side, they have very low pre-order numbers, and they are really worried about that. And I don't really get why anyone would pre-order that game, or most games these days in general, because let's be honest, the only reason why you would ever pre-order a game is, well, there's two main reasons. Reason number one, scarcity. Scarcity is when you have a chance of not getting that game. But in the digital age, where a lot of us are just buying their games digitally, or if you don't get a physical copy, you can still get a digital one, there's no reason to pre-order the game. And if that's not your main reason, then if the game offers you some kind of reward for pre-ordering it. But if that's the reason why you want it, you are still off fine enough just pre-ordering it like half a day before it launches. Like, as long as you're pre-ordering it even a minute before it actually goes live, it will still count for your pre-order bonus. So it's basically just buying it at a very specific point in time without giving them your money too early. Not much of a point in pre-ordering games these days anymore. But nonetheless, Square Enix is very scared that the sequel might not be selling, to the point where they are currently trying to assure us that we don't need to have played the first remake if we want to play the second one. It's like, that's a little weird with a story-based game, don't you think? Like, usually you should experience all parts of the story for the story to make sense. You know what, I'm going to go for this mode here real quick, because I think otherwise it's gonna be a little nauseating for you guys. There we go, there we go. Eka is not online. I'm playing Diablo right now, taking a short break from work. Fair enough, fair enough. One can only stay focused for so long. I'm pre-ordering only after reviews. Absolutely fair. It's always worrisome when any game developer doesn't allow reviews for the game to come up before the game actually launches. Like, every single time when I'm actually not sure about the game, and the game doesn't allow for reviews to come up until day one, maybe not even after day one, then it's like, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, isn't it? Funnily enough, one of the games that did that was Shadow of Mordor, which was a great game, so I don't know why they were so shit scared that they forbade reviews to come up before the day one launch. But it definitely made me worried originally before I got the game. Once the reviews were up and were like, hey, this game is actually pretty good, I was like, huh, okay, guess I'm going to get it after all. But they didn't help their case there, let's just put it like that. There are very few games I pre-ordered long before, only a few developers have that honor. Fair enough. I mean, even if I fully trust the developer, most of the time I just don't have a reason to pre-order. Since I'm mostly playing on PC, and I'm gonna get most of my games digitally, even if I want the game and even if I want the pre-order bonus, I will just buy it at most a day before it actually launches. So, come on now. Very difficult to get back there, but I think we got everything up. Oh my god, there's so much dirt on this side left. I guess I was mostly on one side before. Yeah, I definitely need to make more use of this mode, because I think that's easier to watch for you guys when the camera is not bopping around all that much. There we go, look at that, look at all that gunk disappearing. Oh, there we go. 88%, I think we might just be done with the big bike then. If there's anything missing on the bike, it's probably just going to be a very small, minute thing. Hey! It is a very satisfying bling noise. I would be way more motivated to do housework if there was a satisfying bling noise involved in doing housework whenever you accomplish the task. Couple of XP on the side. There we go, that's the good shit. I would pre-order Red Dead 3 or GTA 6 or Baldur's Gate 3. With those it would be very, very surprised if they don't hold up. Absolutely fair. I mean, with Baldur's Gate 3 it's not really a pre-order anymore, it is just buying an early access game. Granted, I'm usually not one to buy early access games as well, unless I'm 100% certain that either the game is getting completed, because I have this much faith in the studio, or if there's already enough content in the game that I can say, okay, even if I'm not going to get anything else ever again for this game, I'm still fine with the amount of content that I'm getting provided with. I can't think of an example of where that was the case off the top of my head, but I certainly had a couple of games like that, where I was like, you know what, maybe this is never going to get an update again, but I can work with this. Oh wait, there was something there. The trailer. I think it was the dirt right underneath the cusp of it. Or maybe not. Ah, there's small parts in there. That's where we go. Okay, the hauler. Where is the hauler still dirty? I mean, the exhaust is definitely still dirty. You can see that much for a fact. Hey, I think I cleaned something entirely different there right now, didn't I? Oh well. As long as something gets cleaned, then that's progress. Hey, wait. This thing consists of so many singular parts. Is it inside of there somewhere? Where's the last piece of dirt? Where is it, my precious? On PC, don't think there is early access on PS. Ah, gotcha. I sometimes forget that early access isn't really a thing on console, mostly because of how consoles handle updates and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how exactly it was with Nintendo, but I do know that Sony actually wants money from the developers if they ever update stuff, which... Excuse me. Which is kind of stupid. I know in an interview they once mentioned, yeah, that's because they want to make it so that developers make sure that their games and stuff work whenever they roll out. And that's a nice explanation in theory. But in praxis, the problem with that is that at some point you reach the point, especially when it comes to smaller bugs, that when a smaller bug gets discovered late into a game's lifespan. And even if the developer can and is willing to fix it, a lot of the time they won't do it just because it wouldn't be financially viable for them. Just because Sony is like, nope, give us money if you want to update your own game. Which is just very stupid in my opinion. Oh. Was it the wing mirror there? I think the wing mirror had dirt on it. Well, maybe not. This trailer still has a little bit of dirt somewhere, but I can't find it. Oh, wait, I have a button to actually show me, don't I? Ah, okay, that's the one thing. That might not be the hall. Oh, wait, that's... Okay, that's very clearly visible. From certain angles. From certain angles. There we go. Okay, yeah, we are definitely getting to the smaller parts of dirt right around now. Definitely going to get to the stuff that is harder to see, easier to miss. Ah, yes, and always the inside of things. There we go. Oh, I think that's the trailer done. Nice, nice, nice. Can't seem to see anything else on the exhaust crate anymore. Okay, fire on the window. To be honest, I still think it was a mistake to do it in parts. I also waited for the cheaper option on the remake. For me, the first part of the original Final Fantasy VII was the most boring one, and they made it into 35 hours. They should have made one game and not blow parts up endlessly. I mean, you know, Square Enix loves money, so I mean, I'm agreeing with you, it shouldn't have been done in parts, but at the same time, I'm also not surprised that they did it in parts. That just seems par for the course. And to be fair, that's the thing, Square Enix is also one of the companies that has kind of a bad rap for me personally these days. Because Square Enix has been putting out so many stinkers over the last couple of years. Like an insane amount of bad games. So I don't really trust them to be competent to do anything good anymore for the most part. So I'm just going to go back to you because I kind of assumed that there were things that I missed on your end. There we go. Can we go? Okay, now can I go up there and slightly bigger nozzle, please? There we go. There we go. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Is there any dirt left on this thing? Okay, yeah, on the lowest level. Hard to see, hard to hit, but not impossible. Not impossible. Cloud Bike might actually be clean now. Do you guys see anything anymore? When I press the flash me the dirt button? Ah, yeah, over here. Ah, of course. Protected wheel. Protected wheelie. Ah, and in there as well. Whatever that part is, okay. I don't think I've got everything out on this side. There we go. Okay, now I think I can really not see anything anymore. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the truck, because I assume that it's more likely the truck will still have some dirt left on him. Somewhere. I'm surprised that I'm still not getting the message. Oh. Ah, yeah, the underside. so easy to forget about those undersides of things. Especially because now there's so little dirt left that even if I hover over it and make it flash, it can be hard to see. Oh wait, there's something here. Where was it? There we go. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, come on. There has to be some more dirt. Oh! Something was there. Where was that? There we go. Wing mirror. The wing mirror is still dirty? That's surprising, to be honest. I was sure I was thorough with the wing mirror, but apparently not. And the bumper. The bumper! Of course, the bumper. Oh wait, and the other wing mirror still needs in dire need of cleaning as well. There we go. Stinkers like Nier Automata. I mean, Nier Automata is widely regarded as an excellent game. Personally, I didn't like it, but with Nier Automata, I would say that I can at least still see how someone can have fun with it. But let's take a look at Square Enix's output over the last couple of years. Square Enix, all games by release date. List of Square Enix video games, there we go. I'm just going to go to current time. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of games. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, these are all to be announced. Okay, so we've got... Okay, this is also a game that they just announced. That's the Foam Stars one. But after seeing actual gameplay of Foam Stars, that one kind of looks like a cheap Splatoon knockoff. So I have very little hope for that, especially with Square Enix, because it's probably gonna be a live service, and Square Enix has a history of killing off live services. Then we have... Those are games that are not out yet. Okay, that's the tech preview. I just want to see the games. What do we have here? Okay, I have no idea what Paranorma Site, the 7 Mysteries of Honjo is. Apparently that came out to this year, but never heard of it. We've got the Octopath games, and personally I really like the Octopath games visually, but as games they are kind of bad, if you ask me. I'm just going to say it. I really didn't like the way they handled the story, and the combat was boring. I don't know what Fear for Rhythm Final Bar line is. Forspoken was a bland mess. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Isn't that just a re-release of something? I don't know. Dragon Quest Treasures? I don't know. Harvestella, what the hell? Okay, there's a lot of names here that I actually don't even know. Like, there's a lot of games that I don't know here. But Voice of Cards, if that's the game that I remember it to be, I tried the demo, and the game was going for a beautiful card-based art style and world and so on. And I had high hopes for it, but the problem with it was, it basically didn't use the card style for anything but visuals. The combat had nothing to do with cards, the world had nothing to do with cards, it was just a boring old fantasy game. You've never played Forspoken? How would I? I don't have a PlayStation, and I'm definitely not going to get one. There are far too few games that I would actually care about on the PlayStation. Octopath I did not even buy the second one, I never finished the first here. But the problem I had with the first one, the huge problem I had with the first Octopath was the fact that you had all these characters with their storylines and they didn't matter one bit to one another. At no point would any of the characters interact with one another in a meaningful way. They all had their own story that just played out parallel to one another, and at that point it's like, it doesn't matter how many storylines you're throwing in there, it's just not going to be interesting if they're just anything. Ooh! Speaking of interesting storylines, to circle back to anime there for a second, one thing that had a very interesting storyline, and probably the most interesting anime I've seen out of all the new ones I've seen recently was I finally got around to watch the Edge Runners anime, the Cyberpunk Edge Runners one, and I can understand why so many people started playing Cyberpunk 2077 afterwards. Because in all honesty, that thing does a very excellent job at getting people interested in the world of Cyberpunk. An excellent job. Okay, I don't see dirt anymore. This is a problem. Forspoken is on... Wait, Forspoken is on PC? Huh, that's a little bit of a surprise. I was sure it was a console exclusive, but even if it is on PC, I don't see a reason why I would play it. Because Forspoken does something in regards to its magic system that I always hate whenever any game does it. Because I am someone, I love fantasy, I love magic. But I don't know why far too many modern games try to use magic basically as a gun. And I don't understand, I mean I understand what the logic behind it is, because it's easy to do, because fucking shooters are easy to program, and that's why the bloody market is so flooded with them. But I hate it when magic, one thing with limitless possibilities and all, just gets downgraded to, oh, and it basically works like a gun, where you make pew pew and enemy health bar go down, and I'm like, oh, fascinating. It's exclusive on PS5 for consoles, but also on PC. I kind of want to try Forspoken, but not for more than $10. Yeah, fair. If you're literally getting it thrown after you, then sure, there's no harm in trying it. I also didn't really like the voice acting in Forspoken all that much from what I saw in trailers. My problem with the voice acting is not really the dialogue itself, but that every single line gets read like the person reading it is dead inside already. Like, there can be the most hyped stuff happening around you. The character was like, oh, I'm over here fighting dragons and shit, and it's like, Jesus Christ, girl, put some energy into this, will ya? Okay. Where is that last bit of dirt? I just want to... Oh, wait, there was something. Something was... Ah, there we go, now I can finally see what's left. Bike rear wheel guard. Okay, so I guess the rear wheel guard is that thing? How do I even clean that thing any further? Wait, which part of this is the rear wheel guard? Rear light, rear tire, bike rear light. Oh wait, there, rear wheel guard. There we go. Okay, that's one thing done. Hauler, door handle, and door window. Okay, a handle and a window is what we forgot. What is the door handle on this thing? No, like seriously. Is that the door handle? Hauler, door, hinge, door. Ah, there's the door handle, but that's the clean one, so it has to be the one on the other side. There we go, yeah. That one is still quite dirty. Quite dirty indeed. Oh, are you not a naughty little door handle? Guess I need to wash you, clean you of your sins. There we go. Oh. And there we go! Hey! We did it! We've cleansed yet another thing. You can see whenever I give up on one vehicle for a time and go over to the other one and I'm like, you know what, I'm done. OMG, you hate it because it's all female protagonist and also black. I don't even think she's black, is she? I'm pretty sure she is Hispanic. I don't think Hispanics or so, or Mexican people are considered to be black. Because that woman has straight hair. I don't think there are the black people with naturally straight hair. Okay, so new job, Scorpion Sentinel. Ooh. I think I do even remember the Scorpion Sentinel. Wow, that's racist. Is it racist to say that Mexicans ain't black? I don't think it is. I have a hard time wrapping my head around that sentence. I just don't see how it is. Alright then, Scorpion Sentinel, my boy, my big boy. Ooh, oh! Oh, it starts moving when we clean it. Is it going to walk around as soon as his legs are gang free? Because its eye is certainly doing something right now. Should I be worried? Because I'm pretty sure that thing is a boss fight and programmed to kill humans on sight. Is this going to be the final level and I'm just going to die once I'm done here? Might be. We are talking about something that was developed by Shinra after all. Whee! Ah, okay, and there's my step ladder. I will probably need that. What you doing, step ladder? So... How do you even get that thing so dirty? Like, is this what happens after the fight with Cloud? The hair thing? It's really not! Black people do naturally have afros. That's just a thing. That's just genetics. I don't know what to tell you. So there we go. Like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely a lot of mixed people that don't have them anymore, and the afro can be stronger or less strong, dependent on your gene pool and your origins. But at the same time, at least a little bit of curls or so are always in there. I don't think there's a single ethnic black group that has literal straight black hair. Like, there's barely a white group of people that has straight hair. For the most part, straight hairs don't exist or rarely ever exist. This thing will be interesting to clean, just because it is quite big and made of many small parts. Oh, it even makes sounds, that's kinda cool. I was like, wait, what do I hear here? Headlight clean, there we go. Are you going to move your giant death laser if I clean it? Do I have to worry about that? I'm starting to think I need to worry about that. Just pointing it out there. Can I climb up a little further? Hello. Don't mind me, just doing my job. Okay, you know what? I will have to figure out a way to climb up there. Can I jump on the arm? There we go. There we go. Now we can actually work on this. See, that's also a thing that I really like whenever a video game does it. I am very curious about the idea of just daily life jobs in fantasy worlds. There's a couple of games that I played that had that premise that were very funny. One of the last one that I did was Potionomics. If you guys have never played Potionomics, I can really recommend it. I love Potionomics. Potionomics is a card game. Potionomics is a potion brewing game. Potionomics is a merchant store game. Potionomics is a motherfucking pay dating sim. Potionomics is so many things and it's glorious at all of them. I am a huge fan of Potionomics. I can really recommend it to everyone. It is one of the few games that I finished and immediately played through again just because I had so much fun with it. Ella Balinska is the actress of Frey. Her mother seems to be black, the father is from Poland, so probably white. She's from Ella. Okay, interesting. I thought she was Mexican. The main reason why I thought she was Mexican is because she has a light brownish skin tone. And she's kind of working class in America. And usually whenever I see that setting, I just assume someone is supposed to be of Mexican ethnicity. But alright then I stand corrected. But that does kind of hammer my point home of, yeah, if you're mixed, then sure, then straight hair is possible. So you're racist judging people from their skin tone. Okay, you know what? You just want to cancel me anyway. How about you just get that tweet longer started and I will make my response video where I longingly look into the camera and go, wait, you know what? Let's switch it over. Let's start the actual apology video right now. There is no easy way to tell you what I'm about to tell you. But I have made mistakes. And I'm sorry that I have let all of you down. It was never my intention to disappoint you or even mislead you in any way. And for that, I'm truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. And this is the point of the apology video where some form of pet would come in. Ideally a dog or a cat to show just how much of an emotional human being I still am. And therefore you will be able to sympathize more with my position in whatever kind of cancellation drama I found myself in. Alright, back to the game. Let's go back to the game. Please put your dirty shoes away when apologizing. Wait, do you see my shoes in the background? Ah yeah. My dirty shoes? Those are just my flip-flops! Those are clean! I use them when it's cold, when the floor is cold, because I don't like to have cold toes. That makes me also more of a human in your eyes, dear viewer. Because only a true human wouldn't like the cold feet. Okay, so let's continue. Could you stop moving there? You're making this very awkward, Shinra the robot. There we go. Hey, there we go. It feels like it's looking at me right now, even though this is just a headlight. There's literally nothing here indicating that this thing has any kind of visual capacity, if I'm completely honest with you. Hey Merton, nice to see you. How are you doing on this fine day? We're just over here cleaning Shinra death robots. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good week so far. Stop moving your goddamn drone head. You're making this harder than it needs to be. And stop moving. Can we turn this off, please? Can anyone turn off the death robot? I don't feel safe right now. There we go. Hey! I'm doing good. Nail binding Pantheon 5 is done. Damn! Congratulations. Well done. So, which binding is gonna happen next? How are you doing? Oh, doing fine. Just cleaning, just chatting. Doing a lot of chatting today because, let's be honest, that is what this game is here for. Washing something doesn't take all that much attention away from me, so I can really focus on dialogue today. So, if you ever wanted to have a casual conversation with me, now is the perfect time to do that. Other than that, today's stream is a little earlier than usual because in the evening I will actually have to go somewhere because my girlfriend and I are still looking for an apartment, in case you are not aware of that, and I'm going to take a look at another one today. Today's one isn't our dream apartment, and we are currently conversing with, what's it called, a real estate agent when it comes to apartments, because there is one we are very interested in and we would love to get, but just in case we don't get this specific one, we should keep our options open and look at all the other ones as well. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. We are getting somewhere. Do I have something like a long ladder somewhere, for example? Because I could really use a lot. Wait. Oh, I think that's the thing I'm actually supposed to use if I want to clean that thing. I don't think I'm actually supposed to just crawl all around it. But you know what? We started crawling, so we might as well continue crawling for as long as it works. Ah, Charm Binding Pantheon 5 is the only one left. Holy moly. You really went hard there. I'm impressed. I'm honestly very impressed with the amount of stuff you managed to accomplish in that game. Congratulations there. Well, best of luck with the charm binding one then. But going at by your current rate, it's probably not going to take you too long to actually finish that one off. Why you always call him Mergin when his name is clearly Merisian? Because I don't quite know how to pronounce Merisian. I know that Mergin is actually not quite correct, but I'm like, you know what, close enough. In what district is the apartment? The one we are looking at today, or rather which I am looking at today, is gonna be in Simmering, and the one we are hoping to get would actually be close to our current apartment. The one that we are hoping to get is still in Meidling, and it's only roughly 1 kilometer or so away from our current one. So moving there would also be a lot easier than any kind of long distance move. I mean, not that any of them are really going to be long distance moves, we are going to stick to the same city anyway. I don't think you have any right to really talk about a long distance move as long as you're staying within the confines of your own city. There we go. There's one reason I don't want to think about charm binding. Well, too, Markov exists, but not the main reason. Like, Markov is generally one of the main reasons why anyone would ever not want to think about anything Hollow Knight related, but sure, tell me what the other reasons are. Ascended Collector is a nightmare. Really? I mean, sure, yeah, it makes sense, because you will have to hit him far more often and his summons. So it can be easy to get overwhelmed and get that one random stray hit in there that gets you killed, but I'm still surprised that you would consider Ascended Collector to be the most powerful one. I would prefer Simmering, would you now? I mean, the apartment in Simmering, if I remember correctly, would be a lot bigger, so it's not like it doesn't have anything going for it. It's a little more expensive, but still decently priced and affordable for us. But Simmering is really far out there. Like, for those of you that don't know Vienna, which I assume is going to be some of you, Simmering is, in regards to the subway system, one of the final stations you can find in Austria. So it's definitely one of the more out there districts. I need like 2 hits for every summon. That doesn't sound too bad now, if you put it like that. And don't have Mark of Pride, so they just go out of range instantly. Ah, okay, I see. And I just can't just spam in the direction because I don't have Quick Slash. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So basically you do need 2 hits, and it is difficult to get that second hit in as well. Okay, fair enough. That does make sense. I guess I should try that at some point just to get a feel for how difficult it actually is. But it will always be more difficult when it is in the middle of the boss rush, because you will get worn out by the time you get to anything. That's why even a weak boss does make a boss rush more difficult. Just because it can tire you down. So this is honestly looking pretty good. I think I'm going to jump down now, because I want to take a look at something a little more top down. So let's stop this and actually climb up there for a moment. Okay, there's still a lot of dirt on the backside of that scorpion tail, so we still have a lot left to do here. It's cool that it's basically just one giant, big, weird looking thing we have to clean here. That's an interesting change of pace in regards to the cleaning process. Wasn't the price the reason why you want to leave your current apartment? Now you're looking for a more expensive one? No, okay. Yes, the price is the reason we are looking to move out of our current apartment. And no, we're not looking for a more expensive one. What I'm saying is that the one in Simmering is more expensive than the apartment in Meidling. Not by a lot, but it's still going to be like 500 bucks cheaper than the one we are currently renting. We are currently paying roughly 1,300 bucks in regards to our rent each month, and we are looking to get lower than 900 bucks a month in regards to the total cost of the apartment. That's why we are, the one that I'm looking at today, I think was roughly a little over 800 bucks a month total. And the one that we actually would love to get is less than 650 bucks a month. And it's right next to 2 different subway stations. So that's pretty good for us. It's a pretty sweet deal in my opinion. But let's see if we can actually get that deal. We'll have to wait and see. We are already talking with the landlord, so maybe we have a shot at it, but because it has such a low price, there's probably going to be a lot of other people that want it. Although, it is kind of weird, but it is the cheapest one that has the highest base conditions to move in. Because, for God knows which reasons, they specifically ask for netto earnings of 1,500 bucks per month, which makes no sense to me because you would definitely not need 1,500 bucks to live there. But at the same time, it will filter through a lot of the applicants. I personally wouldn't be able to afford that either, but the good thing is they are talking about in total, so since my girlfriend and I are a couple and we are both earning money, it does make it a lot easier to actually meet that minimum requirement. There we go. On top of the world! So... and then sometimes they just spawn on other side of the map of each other. That is always the biggest problem when something with a long range snipe spawns outside of your field of vision, in my opinion. That's just almost unfair. That was, which was that again? Oh yeah, I remember now. I was thinking about, didn't I have a similar problem like that recently? And yes, I did when playing through Lord of the Rings, Shadow of... wait, not Lord of the Rings. Middle-earth, Shadow of War, every bloody Nazgul fight, when a Nazgul would just teleport off screen and then just hit me from somewhere where I had no reasonable way of seeing him anymore. That one did piss me off several times over. So, is there still dirt there? I think this is still dirt, right? Honestly, no, that thing is pretty clean. It is a little difficult to see in this specific case if there's still dirt, because there's also a lot of small scratches on the metal, which make it a little more difficult to distinguish stuff from just straight up... scratches in the metal, but we can make this work. We can make this work. There we go. I think the tail laser is for the most part done now. Should I probably finish it up? Maybe, maybe. So, oh my god. Simmering would just be difficult because simmering is really far out there, and it would definitely increase both of our time that we need to get to work each day. And both my girlfriend and I value our time a lot. That's why she's working a 25-hour week right now, and I would ideally like to be able to reduce to at least 32 hours at some point in my life. Because I don't think that 2 days off a week are really enough to fully recover each week. You are just slowing down your total level of exhaustion. Because usually the way a weekend goes, in my opinion, is the first day you will not really be able to do much with yourself anyway, just because you will be exhausted from the week you've just been through. On the second day, you are basically required to just do chores and stuff that you didn't get around to during the week. So the second day of the usual weekend is a goner as well. And only on the third day, after you are through day 1 and 2, you usually get time to be busy yourself with recreational activities. in my opinion. Sure, you can just skip the step where you are having a time or day off, where you can just recover and pause your recreational activities in there, but at the same time, doing it like that is just going to slowly exhaust you in the long run. So, put that one down here. It should be 4 days of work, yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think both of us are happy that Babler is the one that won the election after all. Ooh, Merchant, I don't know if you've read that one at Discord, but there is just huge chaos in Austria right now. It is almost, it's funny, you can either look at it funny or pathetic instead, depending on who you are. But one of the biggest parties in Austria, the Social Party, did do a big election to elect a new leader recently, which was long overdue because their old leader was basically incompetent. I don't think you will find all that many people that would disagree there. And there was a big election, and 2 days ago they finished the final election, and it was like, okay, this one guy won and the other guy lost. And it was and one voice mysteriously disappeared during the election process. And then the guy, we had our leader for that social party, and yeah, that was about it. And the entire election commission was starting to look for that one voice because they were like, okay, where the fuck did that one voice go? But instead of just finding where the one voice went and being like, ah, okay, that's it, they figured out that the election results were actually switched around and the other guy won instead. So for 2 whole days we had the wrong leader for one of the biggest parties in Austria. It was just insanity, utter madness. Like, how does that even happen? Barbara is fixed now. They made an announcement an hour ago. Oh, thank God for that. But still, it was just such a giant embarrassment for Austrian politics. I didn't even hear about that stuff at first because I was at work, and once I got off work I just checked my WhatsApp, and a lot of people were like, oh my god, Bellatrix here messaged me on Telegram, and my family messaged me on WhatsApp and be like, oh my god, did you see the news? And I was like, no, not really, why, is anything going on right now? Oh my god, they were like both like, oh my god, haven't you heard the word? And then it turns out that the word was that we had the wrong leader of the social party for 2 whole days. Oh my god, like, elections are not an everyday thing, so one should think that whenever they happen, people are actually careful about them, but apparently not. Apparently not. I even heard from people that were helping with elections in the past being like they have no idea how the fuck that could potentially happen. Because they were absolutely shit-faced during the time when they were helping with the election results. And they still never messed up that badly. So whoever's fault that one was, they are probably going to get fired. And I would say rightfully so. That's probably the biggest blunder that can happen to you when you're in the election committee. Quickly need to clean the upper corner as well, yeah. She already stepped down. Ah, did she? Okay. But do we know by now what exactly happened? Because last time around there were just theories about how that could have happened when I listened to it. Do we have a definite answer what exactly happened by now? I mean, it's understandable that she stepped down, but was it a screw up on her end, or was it something else? They put the votes in the wrong row of Axel. So stupid, like, did no one double check that? If it's about something like a major election, one would assume that there are several instances of making sure stuff like that doesn't happen every step along. Oh, Oh, we've got a ladder as well. Ooh, that's cute. That's cute. Hey, there we go. I think that's the way I'm doing it right now. Slowly working through... Oh. Is this one clean already? No, I think it's probably going to be dirty on the top end as well. There we go. What you looking at, big guy? We received report of gang activity in the Sector 500 city, most likely Don Corneo's lackeys. Ah, yeah, sure. Don't worry, I will try to clean this thing, because you can't fight with a dirty robot, can you now? You know what, I'm going to put that one away for a moment. Can I just put it down somewhere? No, I will leave it over there for a bit. By the way, Bellatrix, as the one who gifted me this game, so how are you liking a stream with it so far? Do you think this is a good stream game? Like, for the most part, once again, it's just a very meditative thing for me to do while just chatting with you guys. I'm honestly enjoying my time here. It's definitely not something that I'm going to do often, but I'm having a good time. Definitely a far better time than I had with Bus Simulator, I can tell you that much for a fact. I can tell you that much for a fact. Why? How do you get a robot to be this dirty in the first place? Anyone want to explain that to me? Anyone here having an answer for that? I think maybe we're going... Nah, I'm still sticking with this one. I do like this level of cleanliness here. Cleaning like a river. Okay, where's that last bit of dirt that I'm trying to get there? Because this leg gripper is almost clean, but apparently it's not the top end that's the problem right now. Ah, there we go. There we go. We still have roughly 1 hour left today. That's when I will have to wrap up stream for the day, because at that time I will slowly start to prepare before I'm heading out to take a look at the apartment. Probably still eat some dinner or so first. I'm not sure, I guess I could also postpone dinner, but I think it is generally speaking a good idea to wrap up in roughly an hour. We have been going for 3 hours right now anyway, and there will be one more stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream might be a little shorter and I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. We might be doing some Monster Hunter Rise stuff tomorrow, mostly because tomorrow will also be the day that they are going to release the... well, they're going to have the stream where they are going to show us what the final update is, and I will just assume that the final update will be out right after as well. So maybe we're going to do some Sunbreak if I can really find the motivation to do so, because still, I can have fun with Sunbreak from time to time, but it definitely never grabbed me as hard as Base Rise did. I know a lot of people that are like, okay, I like Sunbreak and I dislike Rise and Sunbreak, or I like Rise and Sunbreak. I think I am one of the few in the unique situation where I did actually like Rise, but I dislike what they did with it in Sunbreak. Because some people are probably going to argue, but Sunbreak is just more Rise. Why would you not like that if you like Base Rise? So I think we actually cleaned... oh, goddammit, now this one still has some dirt left on it. It's probably going to be up there as well, isn't it? Not even. I guess we can clean that from the ground level up. Where was I? Ah yeah, by Base Rise. The problem I had with Sunbreak was it didn't really add much to Base Rise, and the things that it added I mostly disliked. Like, I'm a I'm a huge fan of the switch skill system. Are there a lot of skills that are basically just straight up upgrades over other skills? Yeah, they are. Abso-fucking-lutely. But the problem is that not that... I mean, that is a problem, but it's a problem you can still work with. The bigger problem, in my honest-to-God opinion, comes from the fact that a lot of the switch skill system as a whole has been rendered useless thanks to the existence of switch skill swap. At that point, it isn't really switch skills anymore, where you have to select and build them for your specific weapon and the way you're using it. At that point, we are literally just talking about a complicated total move set, because there's a total of one move you're not going to be able to equip with the current switch skill system. And once again, what even is the point then? What even is the point of that system then? Hey, nice little ching. We're getting very few chings with that, but to be fair, I don't think we've finished a lot at the very start. Can we get... Okay, we can't go higher than this apparently. Why does this thing have a wheel up on its chest? Was this ground bound as well? I mean, I guess it could turn into some form of tank or so, because otherwise the wheels would not make any sense whatsoever. But I don't remember it, I only remember ever seeing it in Scorpion mode. Did it use the wheels in the actual game? It's been so long since I played Final Fantasy VII Remake. I didn't even finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. Don't get me wrong, I like the combat system, but the story really got on my nerves. Less so the story, more so the characters, if I'm completely honest, now that I think about it. Because the thing about the characters in the remake was, a lot of them were atrociously badly written. They really tried to push a couple of the side characters more, but they ended up being obnoxious as hell. In the original game, they died after a couple of remakes, and in the a couple of matches, and in the remake I wish that they had died. So I can't really clean all of the field generator right now. Maybe with the ladder. Maybe with the ladder. Can you... There we go. That should help me get up to the field generator. So, yeah, there it is. There's some of the... Oh, is it? There we go. There we go. Yeah. Thought as much. I thought that a lot of it would be down there. Okay, I think we've actually... Oh, wait, no, there was still one thing left there. Was there? No, over there. This thing actually looks clean now. Alright, works for me. Well, okay, partially clean. There's still a lot of dirt there. Honestly, it looks like way more than 74% are left. But then again, we have been at this for a while, so maybe this is just because we've gotten rid of most of the dirt on the surface, but not all of it. I'm so happy that they made this segmented, because that way you do get kind of an instant reward feeling a lot in this game. Once again, maybe I just should add a sound effect to me doing housework to motivate myself a little more to do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll probably have to climb up there as well, won't I? I can't see myself being able to rinse this thing of all the gunk from down here. These legs I apparently haven't even touched yet, because otherwise I could not explain why they are still looking the way that they do. I should probably switch to gun mode as well again, because once again, I think this is easier on your eyes, and I don't want to be nauseating when it comes to my stream. That is not the point of streaming. I guess it's not too bad, because usually people only every now and then take a look at the stream. It's very rare that anyone, including myself, really watch the stream full time. I mean, even if they do, they are probably only going to do that for like an hour or so. Before either starting to do something else or switching off the stream entirely. Starting to do something else right next to watching the stream. I think that's usually the way streams are getting consumed. Come on. Huh. We actually have to get the ladder to clean this. I don't want to. You know what, let's just get the step ladder. Let's just get the step ladder. Otherwise this is never gonna finish, I think. I don't think the step ladder is really doing all that much for me. You know what, let's do as much as we can from the ground level. There we go. And then move on. I think that's too high up. No, actually we can still do something from down here, surprisingly enough. I would have expected this to be too high up already, but the more we can do from all the way... Okay, I don't know why I'm so burpy right now, I'm very sorry about that. The more we can do from all the way down here, the easier it will be in the long run. Do I still have tea? Yes, I do. Nice. What is that? Oh, that's the claw. Okay, the claw is still hella dirty. I was like, I was wondering why it is so dirty, but nope, it is still hella dirty. I'm kind of done cleaning this for a while, so how about we just climb up there and see what we can do from over here. If you're getting tired of cleaning one spot for hours straight, just switch it up a little. I think I should let my girlfriend try this game as well. I could see her enjoying it as a little bit of a relaxing thing while she's listening to music and stuff like that. And the fantasy levels are really adding a lot to it. Once again, doing just boring old jobs and housework and so on in a more fantasy setting makes it immediately more interesting. I don't know what it is, maybe that's just me, but I always like the idea of just doing regular jobs in a non-regular environment. There was a game called, I think it was called Racketeer or so, an item shop's tale. That was probably the first game I can remember, or at least I played, that did something like that. Where you basically inherited your dad's very much in-depth item shop and had to turn a profit with the business. Potionomics was following a similar concept, with the only difference being that it wasn't an item shop but rather a potion shop, and you inherited it from your uncle. Also, there were a lot of other mini games around there. You want to clean a tavern with the concept here of being... We are R-worded and killed by an orc. No, because I don't want the R-word stuff in any media, if I'm completely honest. It's always something that's just a giant trigger warning for me and different people. But, to make it less gruesome and extreme, I would say it would be something entirely different if we're talking about, let's just say for example, also please don't use the R word in my chat, that's something I'm really uncomfortable with. I should probably add that one to the list of banned words. So where was I though? Yeah, but running a fantasy tavern, pouring out drinks and stuff like that would be something that I could see being funny. You managing the quest board, you seeing all kinds of weird and wacky heroes going on there, and there being some form of giant, enormous fantasy conquest going on in the background. At some point, maybe even the main bad guy starts to drink in the tavern, and sitting next to the hero, and both of them don't recognize one another, because neither of them have their fantasy gear on. I could see that being a lot of fun. God damn it. God bloody damn it. Oh. Ow. Well, I'm still having fun with this. I think this is definitely also gonna be a game for shorter streams as well. Like now some stuff around the 3-hour mark. We're still going to go for 4 hours today, but I think if I do this again, then, and I do intend to do this again, and I'll probably do it on days where I can only stream for roughly 3 hours. So at some point I will naturally slow down with my mad ramblings. I think that is very much understandable. Oh my god, this will be so tedious. You know what? Maybe if I use this here, we can actually cleanse this a little more efficiently. Can you rotate these things once you pick them up? Yes, you can. Okay, so this is as close as I'm allowed to get with it. It's not great, but it does allow me to hit a couple of spots that I could not get to before. So, you know what? For the time being, it will be good enough. For the time being, it will be good enough. I think we've actually cleaned most of the tail now. To be fair, we did kind of start off with the tail. Can I jump out from here, or is that just not in the cards? Doesn't seem to be in the cards. Oh, you know what? This is a good position to clean the gun and the claw. Is this a gun? I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Like, the claw is obvious. The other thing I would assume is some form of gun, because I can't think of anything else in sense. I like RPGs where there's not the whole world in danger, like the Schwarze Auge Drakensang 2. We have a task and quest a bit more ground-rooted. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. It just feels more natural when it's not that grand in scheme. I don't know about being a dishwasher in a fancy tavern, but a smaller quest like investigating a murder, etc. I prefer over saving the world in every single game. I'm with you there. Once again, I would recommend you take a look at Potionomics. I still think it doesn't have to be a dishwasher though, but let's say for example, how about a game where you are managing a zoo, but in a fantasy setting? Okay, how do we keep the dragons in their pants? Because they are kind of flying and melting through the fences. What are we going to do about, what would be another good fancy animal? About the Medusa we've locked up. Is it even okay to lock her up? Because she is kind of a sentient thing, and the problem is the second she looks back, it would be, she would kind of stone all of our visitors. But at the same time, it would be inhuman conditions to just blind her. What do we do here? Stuff like that could be fun. Oh. I still think running a fantasy tavern in a video game could also be great fun. Like, not just because, like, take for example, I haven't played it myself, but my girlfriend's a huge fan of it, and my best friend as well, and both of them told me I should at some point play the game Coffee Talk. And in Coffee Talk, you are literally just running a coffee shop and talking to the guys that visit the coffee shop. Which is a pretty cool concept if you ask me. You might disagree. Feel free to disagree. It's certainly not the kind of game for everyone. But I do like the idea. I do like unusual games in general. 98% clean. That's not bad. That's not bad. For the most part, we are done with this giant hunk of metal. Even though it is very difficult to balance on top of it. My god, how did you manage to get so much dirt into all of your nooks and crannies? Like seriously, I thought you were just in a factory for the most part. Wait, oh, wait, that's the wrong button. I just want to switch this around. There we go. Hey, and another one done. Oh, and there's still dirt in there. Hey, there we go. I do wonder how many Final Fantasy VII levels there are. I don't know. Maybe this is the last one already. Maybe there's just 2. They sent them to the slums below Midgard. Ah, yeah. You know what? That is actually a fair explanation how this thing became this dirty. Okay, I don't think I can hit that thing from down there. Have we already cleaned all of the tail? I doubt it. You know what? I still think that the backside of the tail is not clean, so I should probably take care of that before I forget about it. There we go. Hey, oh my god. From this perspective I saw so much that we still need to get rid of. Okay, all my day's work. How much do I earn for this job again? I don't think it's gonna be enough. Ooh. Okay, tail is getting there. The tail is certainly getting there. I don't think I'm supposed to be up here, but whatever works. Okay, there. Wait. I did hear a weird metal sound, right? Oh wait, are we under open sky? I kind of thought we were in the middle of a factory the entire time. But nope, apparently factory doesn't have a ceiling. More like a closed off section than anything else then. I'm still thinking about what kind of big game to play next right now, by the way. Like, I think for a time being, I would rather just jump between games for a while, like nothing too major, because we did kind of spend a lot of time on the same game right now with Shadow of War. And I don't regret it, I had a lot of fun with Shadow of War, and I think it made for a pretty good viewing experience as well. But I think I shouldn't hop from one super long thing. It wasn't even super long, it was like I think 45 hours in total until we've beaten it. Which is, weirdly enough, less time than it took me for my original playthrough, I think. Even though I definitely died way more during this playthrough. I guess probably because I had at least some... Oh my god. I always hit the wrong button there. Some idea of what I was doing the entire time. I always want to hit the R key, because the R key is what switches the nozzle around, but I hit the E key, which opens up the menu. Can I even clean anything? Oh. Okay, you know what, since I'm down on ground level right now, anyway, might as well try to finish off the tail. Stream Nocturnal, that looks interesting. I don't even remember Nocturnal right now, if I'm completely honest. Wait, give me a second, I'm just going to look that up real quick. Nocturnal, I'll just assume that it is on Steam anyway. Nocturnal? What is this? Oh. You know what, I'm just going to put it up on the big screen real quick. No, stop it with that. Full screen desktop, there we go. Oh, what do we have here? Make it a little quieter. Return to your home. Okay. Okay, I will just assume this is some kind of Dark Souls Metroidvania, isn't it? I mean, I do like Dark Souls, Metroidvania games. I don't like the actual Dark Souls, but I do like a lot of games that have been inspired by Dark Souls. June 7th. Oh, that's out already, isn't it? Wait, no, it's out tomorrow. Okay. It has a second trailer as well, so let's see if the second trailer is actually going to show us a little more gameplay. Oh, do we have the Hollow Knight shadow? Do we have the shade whenever we die? I did actually try Salt and Sanctuary. I didn't vibe with Salt and Sanctuary. The thing about Salt and Sanctuary was that the controls were just too stiff and sluggish for me. It's a similar problem that I have with Dark Souls. I really don't like how it feels to control Dark Souls. I don't have a problem with your character feeling more slowly or something like that, because it's wielding a heavier weapon, like a big hammer or great sword in Monster Hunter, or my beloved Kirk hammer in Bloodborne, but I dislike Dark Souls. And Salt and Sanctuary really I didn't vibe with. Okay, I will be completely honest with you here. Those trailers don't really do anything for me right now. Like, it looks fine, but I don't feel like I'm seeing enough of the game to have an actual opinion on it. I will wait until tomorrow when it comes out and watch someone else do something with it, I think, because it's not like it looks uninteresting, but I definitely need to see more about it to know if I'm actually going to care about it or not. There we go, I knew there would still be a lot of dirt on the backside. Maybe I should try to cleanse it off a little further from the sidelines. Any more dirt over here? Well, I guess there is some dirt over here, but it's actually not the dirt I'm looking for right now. I just said the next game release on stream, I know nothing. I just said the next game release on stream, I know nothing about Nocturnal. Ah, okay. You know nothing about it, Jon Snow. I'm still considering watching House of Dragons at some point. So many people told me that I need to watch House of Dragons and it's so good and so on and so forth. And I believed them when they said it. But the end of Game of Thrones was so bad as a show that I just can't be arsed with the universe anymore. It's just such a shame, because I hate it whenever, don't get me wrong, I don't need an amazing ending, and a lot of the time, I'm fine with still liking something for what it is, even though it manages to fuck up at the very end. But Game of Thrones managed to fuck up so much at the end that I just can't muster any level of interest in the world anymore. Maybe at some point I will still get around to it, but right now is not the time for it, let's just put it like that. So, I think the tail is still dirty on the side. I don't think we've finished... Oh my god. Ah, I'm stuck! Yeah, I knew that there would still be something over here. There we go. There we go, that's huge. Oh, can we watch this from over here as well? Oh, you know what? We can. We actually can. Ooh, yes. Yes. This is a good angle. I guess I should probably just go one floor lower. That will... Ah, now that I think about it, I can't really, because I've kind of turned this thing around the wrong way. How about we pick this one up real quick? And just turn it around. Yes. Use it on the other side so we can finish off the tail and then move on over to whatever's next on the agenda. Actually good. Watched it months after last episode released. I hated Season Arch so much, but I managed to get me hooked again. Not with one episode, but surely it did. Okay, okay. That is actually nice to know that someone who went through a similar thing with Game of Thrones can still get to love that show again. Hey! So, is there even anything left on the tail? I think we have actually finished the tail. Looks like the tail is actually clean now, which is lovely to know. Just lovely, absolutely bloody fantastic. 93%, okay. I mean, the last couple of percents always take a lot longer just because they are usually in the spots that are very difficult to reach. Wait, raise arm? Oh! Oh! I did not know that we can control the thing. Wait, could we have controlled anything else other than the arms? I don't know, but that's interesting to say the least. I didn't even notice that we had a prompt for that. Well, it does help me to get on the arm. Okay, the claw. Okay, the claw is clean now. Don't think I can finish the cannon from over here. I think I will actually have to go low. Ah, wait, there's still a little dirt left in the casing, isn't there? Yeah, there is something stuck in there, the head casing. Okay, the head casing is the entire thing, so I will just assume it's probably going to be on one of the lower parts. So let's drop it down real quick. This still is the head casing, so yeah, there's a lot of positions where there could still be dirt. Ah, yeah, there we go, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. I'm just going to assume that there will be something similar over on the other side, and then the head casing will finally be done. And there we go, and... boom. Come on. They've really put some great actors and decent writers on it. To my surprise, it really worked. Oh, that's lovely to hear. That's lovely to hear. I'm always very difficult to sell on shows with real actors, actually. Because I do find animation so much more visually interesting most of the time, that there are very few shows with real actors that I'm willing to watch. Like, I think aside from The Boys and Game of Thrones, I can't even think of anything with real actors that I've watched over the last couple of years. Well, I guess a lot of nothing that I haven't just a rewatch from times long gone. So, some dirt over there. My wrist feels like it's getting kind of cramped. I do wonder if I'm just not used to sitting at a keyboard all day anymore. That never used to be a problem, but over the last couple of days I didn't spend much time at keyboards, well, the last couple of weeks. And the games that I did stream I used controllers for. And the games that I didn't use controllers for were card games where I just had to use a mouse, weren't they? Huh. Oh, there we go, that's a difficult to reach part. Oh my god, how is your scanner still dirty? Well, your head flashlight, you know what I mean. There we go, get that all out of here. I think we should be able to finish this guy today. Ah! Unless these things keep happening. Unless I keep falling off. It's a good thing that we finally learned how to use the dirt thing, because otherwise I couldn't imagine how complicated it would be to look for all of the dirty parts on this thing without being able to highlight them. Hey! Hey! Ah, my neck's feeling kind of stiff. I probably have to readjust the screws on my chair. I don't know, I think I should have gone for another chair. This one is just a little problematic. I can't really afford to get myself another ergonomic chair, and I'm definitely going to look for one that's bigger than this one. Because the main problem I still have with this one is that I just can't get the headrest high enough up because it's not designed for someone of my stature. I'm roughly 1m80 and that thing's definitely designed for people that are 177 or so at most, probably 175. Which is fair, I guess, because I am taller than a lot of other people out there. But still impractical for me, to say the least. So, if you're ever like, oh, I wish I was bigger, don't be. Trust me, you would not believe the amount of issues that come with being taller. Oh, 5% left to go. There we go. 5% of the giant robot scorpion. I have, mostly jokingly, been considering getting a couple of scorpions for population control in my eye support enclosures. Because scorpions are actually one of those animals that can hunt and eat eye support. Because a lot of things just ignore eye support. Because there's not much to an eye support. They are pretty heavily armored. They don't have that much meat stuck in between all of those plates. So it's like, okay, so why should I even bother eating them? I'm mostly just eating nothingness. But scorpions can actually crack them open nicely. I don't like thinking about things like these because they are my pets after all, but they are breeding way too rapidly right now, and I do need to think about population control. And it's not like the isopods don't sometimes eat each other anyway. I've seen isopods prey on one another sometimes. Mostly they are aiming for young isopods, and it's not really like they hunt them. It's more like, okay, if the opportunity arises, then they are like, you know what, I could eat one of the younger ones that still doesn't have a hardened exoskeleton. I could do that, couldn't I? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but as soon as there's a species that's more already leaning onto the cannibalistic side, I'm like, I have less of an issue with just eating and or killing them. They're still my pets, I don't want them to die, and I'm always sad when I see a single dead one, but they would be feeding another pet in that scenario, so I guess that's okay. I am 1.8 meters in my chair, it's half of yours. Well, look, my bone structure is just fucked, okay? You know me. I have back problems, I have leg problems, and I have neck problems. I'm not proud of it, that's just one of those little factoids of life. How do you not have issues with your spine then, if your chair is that small? Honest question, or do you just live with your spinal issues? Have you just accepted that you will always be in pain? I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking about that, but I would prefer to not always be in pain. Are the conditions in there ideal for scorpions? Actually, kind of yes, scorpions are from a similar family tree. Because we are talking about a scorpion wouldn't be able to survive in my rubber ducky enclosure, but I don't need population control for the rubber duckies anyway, because those are breeding very slowly. When we are talking about the zebras and the regular isopods though, those two are living in similar conditions to a scorpion. Maybe not a desert scorpion, but as most of you are probably aware, there are scorpions living outside of deserts as well. I'm in constant pain. My neck is ruined, my knees hurt. Existence is pain. Maybe you should be the one thinking about a different chair, my man. Hey, class clean. 98%. Oh, baby. Can we... Yeah, thank you very much. Raise the arm. Oh. There is... I mean, oh yeah, okay, there's a lot of dinging happening now. I guess there's not all that much dirt left on most of the parts where dirt is left. The head casing is so close to being clean. Come on, my man. We can do this. Hey, and that's another claw. I swear to God, the cannon will all... Yeah, the cannons are definitely dirty from front. You know what? Fuck this, we are dragging the entire little thing around. And we are finally going to take care of those cannons. Because the cannons being dirty is getting on my nerves for a while now. I think that's probably the best position I can move them. Oh my god. Well, I guess the cannons are still in an okay-ish position. There we go. There we go. The cannon is apparently still dirty. Oh, and all of the claws count as their own thing, so that is gonna be an issue. That is going to be an issue. Can I get that from over here? Yeah, we've got another claw, that's something. Please tell me that the head casing is... Oh! I think the head is actually the thing down there, not the little thing on top. I think it's actually the thing down there. That would make more sense. Yeah, because, well, I guess that's the scanner. You know what, I don't know. Chairs are fucking expensive. Yep, that's the reason why I still have my one. I mean, my one's also not that old, but I could not predict that I would have that problem with it. The thing is, I've never had that problem with my last chair. That wasn't an ergonomics chair, but a gamer chair. Because the gamer chair was able to move the backside a little further up, and it had better neck support, if you ask me, because of that. Oh, what the hell? Why is this thing vibrating like this? That's weird. Oh! I didn't even notice, but apparently I have a lot more options in regards to washing shit here. Huh. What did I just do? I don't think... Okay, now we are back to my regular cleaning options. That was weird. Okay, I need to go to a lower floor, otherwise this is not going to work anymore. I guess, can we lower both of those arms and see if there's still dirt there somewhere? Okay, that's another thing done. Abdomen turret. You have so many guns shoved in you, Jesus Christ. I guess if I go one floor lower, we should be able to clean a lot of this stuff here. There we go. I do kind of like the little, this little thing to move around here. Does make cleaning this a lot more interesting, to say the least. Did we get everything from back there? No, not quite. Sadly enough, we can't get any closer than this, but I think we don't need to get much closer than this as well. Need to go, we'll be back later, stream is still on. Good luck with the apartments. Thank you very much. Stream will most likely not be on by then anymore, because I'm gonna wrap up as soon as that thing is done. But thanks for sticking around and have a nice evening. Okay, we are down to the final percentage. The final percent. There can't be all that much left anymore. Okay, I need to... Oh. Okay, I think that worked. Ah, goddammit. Hitting the wrong button. Ah. And maybe we'll be able to clean this from the side here. Where is that Ah, I see now. Okay, we do actually need precision there. There we go. That's a clean cannon. Okay, I'm just going to assume that I will need roughly the same angle for this thing there. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It makes sense that both the identical arms I struggled with getting to the same part. There we go. The cannon's supposedly still dirty. Ah yeah, I see now. Difficult to aim there. But I don't think I need to move the entire big thing around. Maybe if I just climb up the ladder. I think we can do a lot already from over here. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh my god, there's so many small spots left. I mean, these are easy to get to small spots, so those I don't mind too much. Oh, and we even forgot part of the legs down there. I think the legs are clean for the most part right now, though. There we go, even more, and get that spray in there. A nice little spray in there. There we go, that's a good position to wipe all the dirt away from. Oh, what do we have here? More dirt, what a surprise. 99%. Okay, the cannon is still dirt. Ah, back here, gotcha. I mean, I think that's not the cannon anymore, I think that's the casing again. But I guess it is also still dirty, so... Hey, there we go! Re-exhaust done. Where's the cannon? Ah, there. How to get to this point? I could just try sniping it. As long as I see it flashing, I think with the long-range water snipe I can get it. Or maybe not. Ah, no, I think I did. There we go. Alright, that's the cannon done. That... Oh my god, why is the head casing still not... Oh my god, finally, the head casing took me forever. So, shoulder is done. Nice, nice. Oh. What did I just miss? There we go, what is that? What is that? Why is it still dirty in there? There we go. Maybe I should raise the arm just to see a little... Okay, no. Raising the arm does very little there. Ah, from where is the shoulder still... Oh! I see you are still dirty somewhat. The eye socket. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's another huge thing out of the way with. Why am... Oh. I somehow managed to wander in there, I noticed. Come on now. Ah, we are so close to being done. Multi-purpose shoulder. Ah yes, that's what they called me in high school as well, the multi-purpose shoulder. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. We have been rambling on for a while now. So, but this is looking good. This is looking really good now. The claw here is still dirty. I thought we had taken care of both of the claws. But I guess it was only the one and then I got distracted by the side casing. Hey, there we go. Okay, there's still dirt in between these parts, surprisingly enough. Slowly wash it all away. Maybe I'm on the other side now, because I'm pretty sure I done this part already. There we go. Ooh, yes. Okay, so what's left? That little thing back there, backplate. Guess the backplate still has another smidgen of dirt somewhere, probably on the other side. Can't see it, but I'm sure as hell there should... Ah! There we go. Oh wait, the backplate is still dirty though. Ah! No longer though. Oh my god, this thing looks so much better now. Oh, and we found ourselves in an advantageous position yet again. So... Okay, I will have to take a look around from downstairs. I think if I want to see where this thing still needs cleaning. Because for the most part it looks very clean already. Oh, wait. Ah, okay. Cloris still had something. Had being the keyword. Oh, was there something back there? No. I can't see any dirt from down here, so let's climb up. Excuse me. No, nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Oh, I'm getting stuck here. Sorry about that. Okay, can't see anything either while I'm being over here, weirdly enough. Ah, okay, there we go. The fan belt. Okay, I think I need to get over there if I am to actually clean that. So, how about we... Try... Oh, and there's a little smudge over there. Nice. Fan belt guard. Okay, we are definitely rinsing it off somewhat. I guess the last bit of it is probably inaccessible from up top. There we go. Oh, okay, that's another fan belt bit cleaned. Okay, let's go over to the other fan belt. Look at it from in here. There we go. Alright, and now we actually have a list. Okay, fan belt. Oh, one of the fan belts? I'm surprised that some apparently... Okay, wait, how many fan... Well, I guess it's the fan belt guard here. That's the one fan belt. Ah, and this fan belt seems to still be dirty somehow. Okay, so that's the fan belt. Mark 98 cannon barrel vent. Which is the Mark 98 cannon? Arm laser casing. Okay, so that's the Mark 98 cannon. So what's the barrel vent there? Rear exhaust. It has something to do with one of the claws, that's for sure. The headlight. The headlight is probably... Scanner... Wait. Oh, that's a headlight. I don't see where that headlight is dirty, but it is the one thing that it tells me to still clean. And so we did. Okay, that still leaves us with the cannon barrel thing. I guess I need to scan from up here. I need to figure out what the cannon barrel vent even is. Cannon, there we go. Cannon rear exhaust. Laser tail, no, that's too high. Cannon side exhaust. I mean, I know what a vent is. I just don't know on which side it wants me to take a look at that vent. But I don't know if we're on the right side, but at least we're going to figure out what the hell a cannon barrel vent is. Or where it is. Casing... Oh, wait! I saw something dirty pop up on my screen there for a moment. Where was it? Where was it? Oh, god damn it, I had it there. We had it for a moment. Ah! There we go! Okay, it's that little small thing right next to the claw. Oh my god, that one was tough to clean. But I really liked the challenge. It was a cool thing because that was just one big robot made of a lot of semi-delicate parts. That's a pretty cool one. That's kind of cool. Seventh Heaven. Oh, the Seventh Heaven bar is the next one here. That's cool, that's cool. But I am going to wrap it up for the day. I'm going to wrap it up for the day because we have been going for almost 4 hours yet and it is almost 5 o'clock, so that is very convenient for me because, as previously mentioned, we still need to take a look at an apartment today. So, thank you all for joining me today. Margin, if you're still here, best of luck with your further Pantheon 5 attempts. I will be back tomorrow, not sure yet if it is going to be with Monster Hunter or something else, but we'll see what it is. Tomorrow is going to be an earlier stream as well, and not quite as long, so probably around the 3 hour mark. And yeah, until then, have a nice rest of your evening. Bye!